morning. Welcome back to the trailer park. We are definitely having a Monday this morning. It is Hello Monday. And I am Chanda-Masta, the trailer park pundit. Okay, so I crashed really hard on Wednesday, right? My deck just locked up mid-show, and we were having a really good show too. But we needed an update, I had to have a GPU update is what happened. So once I got an update, everything I thought was fine till 5 minutes ago when I came into the studio to launch and I had no background. Like, where's my green screen? It turns out that, the update totally tanked my system. I had to go do a bunch of study and figure out how to turn off, I don't even know, hardware acceleration or some shit. I just love when they just throw a curveball out of you. Technology gaslighting you like always. But we're here. We made it. How is everybody? Let's get this chat pulled up. Uncle Warren, good to see you. How you doing? It's been a while. We've missed you. So missed you. I'm sorry I didn't get back to you. Like, literally, I had 2 seconds to figure it out and get launched, but Cold Fusion came in and helped me figure it out, so we figured it out. Of course, you know me, I was melting down like, "God damn it, why? Why does it have to do this? Why does it have to come in and mess with my settings? I don't understand." How is everybody this Monday? I always say Monday morning, but I know for a lot of you guys, it's like midday, and for the ones over across the pond, shit, it's almost nighttime for you guys. So I gotta train myself to stop saying good morning because it's not always morning everywhere, right? Okay, let me take a breath and we'll get into this. I got a huge show. I do. It's so funny. I was so busy yesterday. I had so much going on that I didn't even sit down to start writing the show till the afternoon. And normally I'm almost done with the show. Well, and I always get this panic attack of, oh my God, I'm not going to find enough content. So I'm just consuming everything I can. I'm reading articles, I'm watching, I'm on YouTube, I'm on Rumble, I'm on X. I'm just everywhere looking for content for you guys. And then it always turns out Monday morning that Oz and I find so much more. Like, I could write 2 shows, honestly, every damn day. That's just how much craziness is in the world to talk about, and we're going to talk about it. But I want to first shout out all of the chats. I'm going to start out with the Rumble. Hey, Rumble, what's up, Ghost Start? I see Ghost Start is chatting over there. We don't get a lot of chatters on the Rumble, but we do love you guys. We get a lot of views over on the Rumble. That's good. It's starting to grow. Hey, Jax, what's up? He is hanging in there, Kate. Oh, let's see. We got Jax. We got Kate hanging out. Good morning, Kate. Ozzy's here along with Oz the Boomer, not to be confused at all. Bad Cookies, good morning. Good day. Uncle Warren, like I said, it's good to see you. Popeye. Popeye, I'm so sorry about your symbols. That is a bitch. Symbols are expensive, so I'd be kicking those kids' asses if I was you. Who else is in here? Of course, I got Oz the Boomer. I got Popeye. Steve, welcome. Steve Guy. Is that what it is? I don't have my glasses on, so I'm assuming those are 2 eyes. My glasses are sitting in the other room. I forgot to grab them for the show. I apologize. I don't have my shit together on a Monday morning. Salty's Digital Dive is here. And let's see, Rokfin. Hey, Rokfin. Hi, Lynn. What's up? Good morning. Good day. I just said I was going to stop saying that. Fred Edwards, how you feeling? Are you hanging in there? I hope things start getting better for you. Heal, heal, heal. I'm sending you nothing but positive healing vibes. We're going to get that back incision healed up, and you're going to have a great summer. I'm telling you. I'm manifesting it. I'm all about manifesting good shit nowadays, right? We're told constantly we just live in a fucking simulation and that we create our own reality. So let's create a better reality together, right? That's the way I'm thinking about it. Some of you listen to AM Wake Up, right? Maybe they're not done yet, but they had some mind-melting interview going on over there this morning that really made you think about, the simulation, the matrix. How do we get out of this? Is this a prison, and that we're trapped here in this endless loop of reincarnation because we are the batteries and we power this realm and this reality? Too much for a Monday morning. I got to tell AM Wake Up, you guys. You're melting people's minds too early, but it was great. Go watch it if you're into that kind of, finding the deeper meaning and why we're fucking here, basically, is what they were covering. Okay, Oz, thank you so much for the card. Oz, of course, giving me the great pictures. That's a good picture. I black and white out very well. I don't know why my face always looks so good in all the old black and whites. I love it though, and of course, free Assange now. We are on the final push to free Assange. It's now or never, and you guys know I've been putting the numbers out. I'll put them out again at the end of the show. There is stuff you can do, and we're gonna do it, right? Plus, we're gonna have a big rally before, like a big Twitter storm, the days leading up to February 20th. So we'll talk about all of that. Fair use. We are on YouTube this morning. So yeah, I am merely commentating. These are my opinions, my criticisms, my impressions of what's going on in the world. But hey, if you're interested in anything I talk about, go out there and do your own research, even though The Guardian and so many other fucking pieces of shit have said, don't do your own research because you might be stupid. That is not the case. Always do your own research. And I promise you the truth's out there. They don't cover it up. They just call you conspiracy theorists if you find it. Yeah, let's see what else do we got at the start of this deck. I gotta tell you guys, I'm so excited. You all have come together. You're helping me out. You're getting me over to see the Jimmy Dore comedy tour in Seattle. You guys know I live on a peninsula, so anytime I take a trip, it is a major thing. Natalie got me a ticket, and I'm so excited. I get to hang out with Natalie, and now I got Cold Fusion a ticket, so he'll be able to go into downtown with me. I was a little scared to go into downtown Seattle by myself, I gotta say. And oh, Kate, I gotta tell you about that sometime. I'll put it in. I'll put it in the Discord. I'll tell you about this damn lipstick. Anyways, so if you want to help me out, here is the PayPal donation link. I am going, but I still need your help to finish covering my hotel room. And I think I pretty much got my bus and my ferry covered, but it's just going to be hotel and food now that I need to cover. But I'm super excited. I mean, I've hung out with Jimmy before, and yeah, Jimmy's fun, and it's going to be fun to listen to Jimmy. But I'm super excited to go meet Steph, guys. I can't wait to give Steph a Women in Independent Media pin, and really just Steph doesn't get as much love as Jimmy, and she deserves so much more because we know behind every great man there's an even greater woman, right? So I'm looking forward to embracing Steph. So if you want to help me out, yeah, you can hit my PayPal. You can hit my buy me a coffee. It don't matter. There's lots of ways you can help me out. They're all in the description below. Y'all keep me going. And I got to give some serious love out to Crazy Puppet. I haven't seen Crazy Puppet in the chat for a while. And I was starting to wonder, like, oh, I'm kind of sad I haven't seen Crazy Puppet. I hope Crazy Puppet's doing well, right? And out of the blue, Saturday, Crazy Puppet comes in, says, you're going to go see Jimmy Dore. And so thank you guys so much. I can't do it without you. The only reason independent media is still in this space and I'm still in this space is because you guys want us here. I mean, if I limp along, and I'm thankful for what I've got, and you guys keep me going. So thank you so much. I can't. I'm so humbled. I'm always humbled that it's you and you alone that keep us going. Yeah, I haven't seen Crazy Puppet. Well, Crazy Puppet's still out there. Let me tell you, Crazy Puppet came in through my PayPal the other day. So shout out, mad love to Crazy Puppet. I hope you're safe out there on the roadways. And thank you so much for keeping independent media alive. You all keep independent media alive. It's nobody else. We don't have sponsors. We don't have Rumble coming and giving us fucking contracts. We don't have any of that. We are just a community of like-minded people that come together in these spaces, and you guys, your donations keep these spaces open. So thank you so much. I've seen Jimmy 4 times. Always a good time. Yes. I've never seen Jimmy's actual show. I mean, I've watched plenty of them on video, right? But I don't think I've ever been to a show in person. But I have hung out with Jimmy like in like political like arenas when they were doing TYT and shit like that, right? Oh, we're gonna talk about TYT because Jinx is hard up, and hey, you can get a job. That's on the deck for today. So thank you guys so much for keeping me going, and I just know that I'm not even gonna stress about this trip right now. I've got all these strings out there hanging in limbo, right? But I know it'll all come together. It always does. I never thought I was gonna make make it into Philadelphia. I never thought I was going to make it into the border. It's the love and support of you guys lifting my voice that gets me into these spaces. So I can't thank you enough. Okay, let's get this. Hey, Birdhouse Blues, what's up? Greetings from the nest. Well, the nest is always welcome at the trailer park. We got quite a few nests in the trailer park. Steph is awesome. I know. Met her in Portlandia. Oh, I know. I love Steph. She is awesome. I have met Steph once, but she kind of gave me this, who are you look? And I get it because Jimmy was just like blah, 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 talking to me. And I I don't judge, man. I don't judge. I get it. Okay, well, we got breaking news. Let's talk about breaking news. DeSantis is down. He's out. So yeah, there you go. That didn't last long, right? Did he drop out before the next primary? Like he was like, "Oh, I don't have a fucking chance. I'm out of here." Okay, I thought I brought I did bring the video. Let's listen to what he has to say. Of course, he endorsed none other than Donald Trump. Are we shocked here? So who does that leave as the front runner for the Republicans now? Nikki Haley? No way. No way. She is the corporate favorite.
I would do it. But I can't ask our supporters to volunteer their time and donate their resources if we don't have a clear path to victory. Accordingly, I am today suspending my campaign. I'm proud to have delivered on 100% of my promises, and I will not stop now. It's clear to me that a majority of Republican primary voters want to give Donald Trump another chance. They watch his presidency get stymied by relentless resistance, and they see Democrats using lawfare this day to attack him. Well, I've had disagreements with Donald Trump, such as on the coronavirus pandemic and his elevation of Anthony Fauci.
Only thing you got
Trump
right.
is superior to the current incumbent, Joe Biden. That is clear. I signed a pledge to support the Republican nominee, and I will honor that pledge. He has my endorsement because we can't go back to the old Republican guard of yesteryear, a repackaged form of warmed-over corporatism that Nikki Haley represents. The days of putting Americans last, of kowtowing to large corporations, of caving to woke ideology are over. I thank all of our passionate supporters who have stood by us through it all. That we had people volunteer to come to Iowa in the middle of a blizzard to knock on doors and make phone calls touched us dearly. No candidate had more thrown at him, but no candidate had so many committed volunteers and staff. Finally, I want to thank my wife, Casey, and our kids, Madison, Mason, and Minnie.
Oh, yeah, I'm over it. Madison, Mason, and Minnie. They did the Kardashian thing, but with M's, right? Bye-bye, DeSantis. Oz, I thought you said he was going to go all the way. Maybe not. Maybe not. I think he's done. Gregory Walker, good to see you. Gregory says, Shandog, gender is a construct, except for when saying broads are better than men. I'm happy with my my gender. I'm done buying into this feministic bullshit that I've been sold my whole entire life, that women have to be equal as men. Women are different than men. We are completely opposite and we complement one another. That is the whole fucking point. And to try to compete and be one another, it's not going to work well for humanity at the end of the day is my take on it. So I'm more than happy to be a girly girl. I embrace who I am and always will. So it is a construct. I love this picture. I had to bring this. This is the look of some MK Ultra mind control. I don't know what the fuck is that look about. That's when you know that you have to kiss the ring of Trump. I don't know what that is all about, or he's got some good smack, man. We call that the geetered look in the trailer park, right? When you get all geetered out, it's because you're all high on something, right? Look at his pupils. He looked totally geetered out. Maybe VP. You think that Trump would pick him for VP? Oh God, that's a scary fucking thought, right? I thought Trump hated DeSantis though, right? Trump has made some innuendos to the fact that he has already picked his VP, but he's not going to tell anybody. So I don't know. Is it going to be this guy? Is it going to be Vivek? Is it going to be Tulsi? I guess we'll find out, right? Because the Republican primary has just come down to pretty much nothing. Who's left? Nikki? Yeah. Well, we got a lot of Nikki's on the deck. So let's hear from Nikki, because Nikki had me laughing all fucking day yesterday. Thank God that we have such a blatant freaking liar in this election, because she is so fucking entertaining. I got to tell you guys, she keeps me laughing daily. Her lies change. She can pivot on a lie in the drop of a dime. Like, let's just check it out. I got quite a few little slides. I think this one came from Oz. Let's check this one out. Do Dissidents. Oh, yeah. Do Dissidents boys have been killing it. They've been tearing it up in New Hampshire, right? Keaton's been up there just grilling her. Let's hear from Keaton.
You know what what we all need to remember is I'm grateful for protesters like that, because that's what my husband and military men and women sacrifice for us every day to be able to have the power of our voice.
All right, well, good. Here's one more then. Here's one more, as long as you're happy.
No, we're not going to do that. So first
I thought
of
you're
all,
grateful for protesters. Well, you're not grateful? You just said you're grateful for protesters.
Okay, let her talk. Get out of here.
Seniors should work till they're 80, right?
Let's go. You're out.
You want to raise the retirement age so seniors can work till they're 80, so the Nazis in Ukraine can get the money, and the mass murdering Nazis in Israel
Don't
can
fuck
get
with
the
my
money.
confirmation bias.
Come on. Well, watch yourself. Watch yourself. Watch
You were
yourself.
in Russia?
There you go.
That's who these does.
You wouldn't live much longer. We wouldn't allow that to have happened. God bless America, that's for sure.
Good.
You know, I gotta tell, shout out to Do Dissidents. Keaton, he's been up there just, I've got 2 more clips for you guys. And then I've got one where he puts Marianne Williamson on the fucking spot about the Democratic Party, but it's not on the deck. I figure we'll talk about it Wednesday because it's a longer clip, but it's so great. If go follow the Do Dissidents Twitter feed, because they are on the ground giving these guys hell. Okay, first things first. What pisses me off is you see this over and over. I don't care if it's the Republicans or the Democrats. You'll have a whole room of sycophants that are licking whatever's candidate's ass, right? And if one person asks a real fucking question in that crowd, 200-300 people turn around and go, "You're out of here, boo! Let her talk." If that was me, I would be screaming, "Let him talk! Let him talk! Aren't we supposed to be hearing from the people? Isn't this the people supposed to be asking you fucking questions, not you just regurgitating talking points to us?" I love it. I love that they're doing that. And it's so gross. It's so gross. So if you're ever in those crowds and somebody starts asking a question and they're trying to pull whoever out, say it's Jose Vega or Keaton or anybody, Ray McGovern, defend those people. Defend those people. If you're in those spots still, and I got to tell you guys, I'm just so over it. I mean, I have no illusions that electoral politics will get us there. I actually just do what I do now because I find it fucking amusing. I find it funny. I see through all of the bullshit. And so, yeah, I don't go out to those spaces anymore. But if you do, make sure you're protecting those that are asking real questions and are truth tellers. I guess that's my ask. So Do Dissidents again on the ground asking, found an ultra rare Pokemon. This is the anti-genocide Nikki Haley supporter. What? There's anti-genocide Nikki Haley supporters? Are they confused? Let's hear.
I don't mind.
No, are you here as a supporter of Nikki Haley's?
Supporter.
So you're not undecided. You're just here to show
I'm
support.
Not undecided.
And do you live in New Hampshire?
I do. I live in Nelson.
Great. And what draws you to Nikki Haley as opposed to the other candidates?
She's a moderate Republican. I hate Biden and I hate Trump.
Okay.
And, she's moderate Republican, and I think we need a Republican in there, but somebody that's sensible and kind of middle of the road.
So what is your favorite position of hers? What stands out to you most about her?
Fixing the economy and the border, which is a total mess.
Okay.
Really
Well, what do you
mess.
think about her foreign policy?
I think it's logical.
Logical?
Yeah, I mean, I wish she was more supportive. Well, she is supportive of Ukraine. I wish she would understand the problems in Gaza more, because I think it's really terrible what the Israelis are doing.
That's interesting.
And I think, the Republicans are all for the Israelis no matter what happens, and I think that's unfortunate. But,
I think it's unfortunate too, and most of the Democrats are for the Israelis as well.
yeah, and I just think people aren't seeing what's happening there, and it's just been horrible. I mean, all those people are just being slaughtered, and they have nowhere to go, and it's disgusting, frankly.
Yeah,
So
no, I agree
think
100%.
you have to, people need to take it seriously what's happening there.
Well, this is a meet and greet. Are you going to raise that issue? It is genocide.
Yeah.
It is genocide. So this is a meet and greet. Are you going to raise that issue with her now?
That's a good point. I might, yes.
Yeah, I mean, it's a meet and greet. That's what she's here for.
Yeah.
So, I would let her know.
Yeah,
All right.
I will. Okay.
Thank you so much.
A paper or?
No, I'm a freelancer.
Oh, okay.
If I were with a paper, I'd be inside right now. The press room is open, but I don't have credentials.
Okay.
If I did, I'd be a lot warmer.
Yeah, okay. Well,
thank you very much.
Yeah, you got to have those press credentials to be able to ask these candidates real questions. But ultra rare Pokemon, the anti-genocide Nikki Haley supporter. I'm not going to talk shit about her, but how confused to think that you want to end war and you're calling Gaza what it is, a genocide, but you think that Nikki Neocon Haley is gonna pull us out of these wars? Like, what kind of serious fucking delusion do you have to be in, or this is some misinformed person is what it is, right? I don't do that. I dropped the Discord, you guys. If you want to join, go ahead and join. It's kind of just a continuation of our daily chat. So that way, if you got something you want to drop for the show, you want to come in and chat with other people, it's more of our chat is what it is. So yeah, confused Nikki Haley supporter. That's just freaking funny. Did you guys know that Nikki Haley is a person of color? Remember last couple of weeks when she kept getting asked about racism and she said no, racism's never existed, and then they said what was the main point of the Civil War, and she didn't come up with slavery. She's confused. So now she's defending herself by saying that she is a person of color.
We were the only Indian family in our small southern town. I was teased every day for being brown. So anyone that wants to question it can go back and look at what I've said on how hard it was to grow up in the deep South as a brown girl. Anybody can look at my record and see when Walter Scott was shot down by a dirty cop, how I made sure that the Walter Scott family didn't suffer because we put the first body camera bill in the country in place. Anybody can look at the fact that when we had 9 amazing souls die in Mother Emanuel Church, I did something that no Republican or Democrat ever wanted to touch, which was call for the Confederate flag to come down because it would take 2/3 of the House and Senate and was an impossible feat. I don't know what you're implying with that, but what I will tell you is saying that I had black friends is a source of pride. Saying that I had white friends is a source of pride. Oh my God, it's so
vomit-worthy.
If you want to know what it was like growing up, I was disqualified from a beauty pageant because I wasn't white or black, because they didn't know where to put me. So look, I know the hardships, the pain that come with racism. It's the reason that I fight bullies every day when it comes to racism, anti-Semitism, or hate, and I always will. If I didn't mention slavery on that day, it's because that's an automatic. There's always been, the Civil War's always been known about slavery.
Oh my God, it's so vomit-worthy. It is so vomit-worthy. It's so cringe. Her and Elizabeth Warren out there representing the Native Americans. Aren't we so thankful that both sides have a white woman who thinks that they are, right? I mean, come on. In America, we're all Heinz 57s, especially if you're 2 or 3 fucking generations, right? And you get to pick and choose what ethnicity that you want to fucking be. This is the American way now, especially if you're a politician. And Nikki Haley, Nikki Clinton 2024, proud to be endorsed Democrat or endorsed establishment Democrat endorsed. Abso-freaking-lutely. It's so gross. And she does remind me so much of Hillary Clinton in the fact that she'll fucking say where anything she'll has to say in any room she's in. Like a great example is Hillary Clinton when she did the infamous hot sauce interview. Oh, I carry hot sauce in my bag, right? Trying to be relatable. We saw Biden doing this week, right? I didn't bring it to the show, but there was quite a few pictures of him out there where he did a sit down visit. I don't know where. Detroit, maybe. I think it was in Detroit. And it was so fucking cringe. Like, oh, look at me. I'm hanging out with colored folks and I brought some fried chicken. I would be fucking insulted if I was them. I would be so fucking insulted. But no, they let him in and they let the cameras in. It's so cringe. Just cringe. That's all it is. Let's see. What is this? There's so much on this deck. It takes me a minute to remember what it is. Oh, do you agree with the president should have total immunity from things that cross line? Okay, so this is a Meet the Press interview from yesterday morning. Oh my God, this is so bad. Okay, so this is Trump. Trump actually says this. Trump says, hey, if you're going to have a commander in chief, you got to give him full fucking immunity. So that way nobody can come after him. What do you guys think? Do you think the commander in chief, who already pretty much has full fucking immunity, unless the other side, which, you know, we all know it's not even the other side, wants to take him down? Yeah, let's check this out. Because the Dems are really fucking scared. They're scared of this.
Total immunity from prosecution, even for things that cross the line, including, as his lawyers argued in court recently, for killing political rivals. This is what he said at a rally in New Hampshire last night about that.
You're going to have to give the president, you're going to have to allow a president, any president, to have immunity so that that president can act and do what he feels and what his group of advisors feel is the absolute right thing. Otherwise, you're going to have presidents that are totally impotent, and we've had enough of them already. So having immunity
what are you admitting
is
to,
so
Trump?
important, and I hope the Supreme Court has the courage to do that.
Do you agree, should a president have total immunity even for things that cross the line?
Of course not. The amazing thing about that clip is he was dead serious. He wasn't even making one of his ridiculous jokes. He was dead serious about that, and that should get everybody. I don't care what political party you're from, whether you're an extreme conservative or socialist liberal, everybody should be concerned with that type of mentality going into the White House.
And yet you are saying if he is the nominee, that you are going to support him. How can you say that you'll support him?
At the end of the day, I think most Republicans are going to get behind the Republican nominee. I'm hoping that it's obviously Nikki Haley. This is how bad Joe Biden is. 6 months ago, Trump couldn't beat Biden. This is how bad Joe Biden is. Inflation is crushing middle and low-income families across this country. We're weak on the international stage. We haven't secured our border. Even Democrats have agreed that he's been completely incompetent and you know, not on the ball there, so to say. So this is where we've come, where Joe Biden is so bad that even folks would get behind Donald Trump.
And yet you're saying that the comments by...
Okay, I'm over it. I'm over this dumb conversation. Did Trump just admit that he was impotent? Because he said, we've had plenty of presidents who were impotent. What are you saying, Trump? Okay, so he wants the president to have carte blanche to do whatever the fuck they want, whenever the fuck they want, including killing political rivals. Is what they're saying, right? That's what she said at the beginning of the opening statement. Now, I never heard Trump say that, but that's what she's saying he said. So what does that look like for somebody like, say, Julian Assange? President doesn't like you. You're a nuisance. You're letting out, state secrets. So, hey, let's off him, right? Because that's what they wanted to do. Bill Barr wanted to take him out. We knew that. It's not going to get any better if Trump wins. We know this. It's not going to get any better if Trump wins. It's all the fucking same. It's total horseshit. I agree. It's total horseshit. Okay, so this is Davos, right? Trump's got his army out there and they're working hard for Trump. I mean, multiple times now, I have seen Trump supporters in spaces that you wouldn't assume that they were going to be at, and they're just loving on Trump. So somebody went into Davos to tell them, hey, Trump's going to be president. Maybe you should like him.
You know, one thing that Davos, you might say, and the people come here stand up for, is liberal democracy.
Well, it's laughable that you would, or anyone would describe Davos as protecting liberal democracy. It's equally,
standing up for it.
It's equally laughable to use the word dictatorship at Davos and aim that at President Trump. In fact, I think that's absurd. But I'm going to step aside from that constructive criticism and instead answer your question. President Trump, if he's the next president, for that matter, I think whoever the next conservative president is going to take on the power of the elites. The very reason that I'm here at Davos is to explain to many people in this room and who are watching, with all due respect, nothing personal, but that you're part of the problem. Political elites tell the average people on 3 or 4 or 5 issues that the reality is X, when in fact reality is Y. Take immigration. Elites tell us that open borders and even illegal immigration are okay. The average person tells us in the United States that both rob them of the American way of life. They're right. President Trump will take that on behalf of the average American. Elites also tell us that public safety isn't a problem in big American cities. just travel to New York or Washington or Dallas, Texas.
No shit.
The average person will tell you that the lack of public safety damages not just the American way of life, but their life. President Trump will take that on. I guess the favorite at the World Economic Forum, climate change. Elites tell us that we have this existential crisis with so-called climate change, so much so that climate alarmism is probably the greatest cause for mental health crisis in the world. The solutions, the average person know, based on climate change are far worse and more harmful and cost more human lives, especially in Europe during the time that you need heating, than do the problem and the problems themselves. The fourth, China. The number one adversary, not just to the United States, but to free people on planet Earth. Not only do we at Davos not say that, we give the Chinese Communist Party a platform. Count on President Trump ending that nonsense. Inspired by the wise words of Javier Milei, who said that he was in power not to guide sheep, but to awaken lions. That's what the average American and the average free person on planet Earth wants.
Oh, okay. So, yeah, it was good to see Davos getting owned with some truth, right? I mean, it's so scripted. It's so theater. It's so circus. It's so pick your side. I'm Republican and Trump's going to save us. And Javier Milei, because Javier Milei went and burned them down too. The Republicans just love what he had to say. Oh, you socialists are ruining the world, right? And I'm not going to disagree that Davos and those fucking idiots aren't ruining the fucking world, but at the end of the day, capitalism is fucking starving us. I went grocery shopping yesterday. Thank God I actually could get out and buy a few things after being in that snowstorm and, living through January. And the prices, I just stood there fucking floored at one tiny bag, not even half full, was $100. $100. We cannot continue to do this in America. We're going to hit a breaking point, and we're going to hit it really fucking fast. I mean, I don't even give us till the election before people start to lose their shit if inflation doesn't start to come down. But inflation's not going to come down by the nature of the beast of all these fucking wars and all the money we're dumping out globally. But that's what they want. That's what these leaders want. These Davos, World Economic Forum, the Federal Reserve. That's what they want. They want the Americans to hurt and to pay for this. And we are at the end of the day. And yet again, it's not going to get any better because Trump gets elected, right? Maybe the economy might get a little better, but are we going to stop the genocide in Palestine? Fuck no. Are we going to stop a lot of this? No. We just go back and forth, and nothing changes. It just gets worse. But hey, Cenk Uygur thinks he can fix it for us all. So did you know he is still running for president? Yes, that is right. Even though he wasn't born in America and he doesn't technically qualify to run for president, that doesn't stop him. Send him money now. But hey, that's not all. You can join the team. He is so fucking hard up that this showed up in my Facebook news feed. My Facebook newsfeed, sponsored by Cenk for America. Hey, you can sign up to join the team, and that just goes to show you how hard up TYT really is, right? For sure. Oh, it's so gross. It's so gross. I didn't like it. Looks like a mugshot. It does look like a mugshot. Why is he still even doing this? Because he wants to raise money. He wants to continue to be relevant. He wants people talking about him. This is one of the grossest narcissists that we've seen in the independent media space in a long fucking time, right? And just when you think he's going to go away, he's back. He's back. Shout out and congrats to my longtime friend, Jason Call, who just got tapped to be the Green Party campaign manager for Jill Stein. God, good luck to you guys. At this point, who the fuck else are we going to vote for? I'm not voting for Trump. I'm not going to vote for, Jerusalem to be the capital of Israel or what the fuck ever. He's just another Zionist to me. So, of course, I'm not voting for Trump. Of course, I'm not voting for the Democrats. So who's left, guys? Who's left? I mean, seriously, who is left? Marianne Williamson running inside the Democratic Party doesn't seem to understand that the Democratic machine is broken and she's giving it money and keeping it alive. Yeah, no, not voting for that. So who else we got? We got Cornell. Who's Cordell even running under anymore? I forget. He's changed so many fucking times. I'll be down for Garland 2024. Ozzy, I'm on board for that. Love me some Garland Nixon. Yeah, I think I voted for Jill Stein. I voted for the Green Party the last two elections. Last time, 2020, it wasn't because I was excited about the Green Party. It was because of a lack of fucking choices, right? I was not happy to be voting for Howie Hawkins. He had terrible policies on a lot of things, but he was the lesser evil, right? We've always been told to support the lesser evil. So in my mind, Howie Hawkins was the lesser evil. Didn't matter either way, right? Oh, but in 2016, it was all my fault because I voted for Jill Stein is why Hillary Clinton lost. In case you guys didn't know this. Anybody who voted for Jill Stein, it's your fucking fault that we've been dealing with Trump all these years. So I'll do it again too. Watch me. I mean, I'm not happy to support Jill Stein. Didn't she fall for the COVID bullshit? She's a doctor, so it makes sense. They're indoctrinated into that Lancet mind frame, right? So I forgive her for that, I guess. But I don't know. You guys tell me, who are you going to vote for? As we get closer and closer, we're going to have to figure out as a group, who are the lesser evils in this game? Let's do a Gaza update. Let's see. I think I made this big enough to where I can actually read it. So this was 3 days ago, as of January 19th, 2024. There has been 32,246 killed. There's been 62,634 injured. Journalists killed, 115. 115 fucking journalists have been killed in Gaza. And yeah, the media doesn't talk about that at all. But let's talk about the displaced. How about 1.9 million pushing to 2 million, right? And there's only, 2.3 million in Gaza in the first goddamn place? So that is like 98% of them have been displaced. Let's see. I like this: destroyed or damaged press headquarters. Oh, but they're not targeting civilians or the press at all, are they? 169 press headquarters have been bombed or attacked. Damaged schools, 326, because who needs school? When you can't eat, breathe, live, what is school but a distant memory and something that other kids have, right? I mean, that's the heartbreak. When you listen to these interviews with these children, they just want normalcy. They just want what every other kid in the world has, and that is security, to be with their families, to be able to play and laugh and to go to school and to learn and to come home and know their families and their homes are still going to fucking be there. We are monsters. Healthcare facilities, 208, but they're not targeting them. Hamas built the tunnels under them, right? These numbers are just absolutely flooring. This is the number one topic for me this election. And I never thought foreign policy was going to sneak in and take the number one spot because, hey, for the last 8 years, I've been fighting for us. I've been fighting for, healthcare and a livable wage and an education. All that shit falls by the wayside when children are being fucking slaughtered with our tax dollars. So it fires me up when you see those numbers. How can you just sit there and pretend like it's not a genocide? I don't understand. So I got quite a few TikTokers, and they're calling out the Democrats. And thank God they are. I mean, the Democrats need called out daily, constantly on this. So let's hear from the first one.
I will not support anyone who supports and funds genocide. Then you're going to be the reason Trump gets reelected and then all your rights will be taken away. I will not support anyone who supports and funds genocide. Well, when the Republicans get in office, they're going to go ahead and make this back to Jim Crow South, and black people won't have any rights. I will not support anyone who supports and funds genocide. I understand I am anti-genocide too, but it would be way worse if anyone else was in the office that isn't blue. I will not support anyone who supports and funds genocide. You think the Republicans won't kill Palestinians? They'll kill more. I will not support anyone who supports and funds genocide. We need to think about us and only us in this country. You think they'd care about you? Oh, for the love of God, I will not support anyone who supports and funds genocide. They brought this on themselves. You're just anti-Semitic.
Ugh.
I'm still not supporting anyone who supports and funds genocide.
Simple. It's that fucking simple. I don't care who you vote for. Just don't vote for anybody who is supporting genocide at the end of the day. I love that so many Americans have had it and are saying enough of this. You know, when I'm out there and I'm talking to people anywhere in the store and whatever, it's the everyday hardworking working class that understand this is a genocide. It's the bourgeois gated community. I live in a wealthy house. I drive a Tesla type of fucking person who's like, oh, Israel's right. Israel was attacked, right? That's what I see. It's that direct line that it's still the same people we've been fighting. They just changed, you know, what their stance is on something else. So here's another one. Let's see.
We're white liberals. We say that we're not in a cult like MAGA, but then we'll dismiss any and all criticism of Joe Biden as Russian propaganda or voter suppression. We're white liberals. We use women's reproductive rights as a pawn, while ignoring that apparently the president can bypass Congress when it comes to funding a genocide, but not when it comes to codifying Roe v. Wade. We're white liberals. We'll bully you and say that if you vote for anyone besides Biden, that you're voting for Trump, instead of helping you organize and find a different candidate that isn't a dictator or a genocider. We're white liberals. We'll tokenize anyone from underrepresented groups who are in favor of Biden, while encouraging you to ignore and block anyone else who might speak out against him. We're white liberals. We'll try to scare you into voting blue by reminding you about Project 2025 and the threat of fascism under Trump. Even though people from underrepresented groups have told us that, despite its name, Project 2025 has been in motion since the 70s and 80s, and they already experienced fascism under Biden. We're white liberals. We'll gaslight others and ourselves into believing that life is significantly better under Biden, despite the fact that we're all struggling to feed our families and pay our bills. We're white liberals. We'll act as saviors to marginalized communities, but we'll also blame them if Biden loses and tell them they can deal with the consequences of that, usually in graphic detail. We're white liberals. We'll feign concern for Palestinians, but we won't actually watch the raw footage of them being attacked and unalived en masse. We're white liberals. We'll talk down to people of color and pretend like we know what's best for them, even though the wall's still being built and Cop City's still going up. We're white liberals. We'll watch tone-deaf Instagram posts made by our leaders and dismiss the thousands of comments streaming in demanding a ceasefire and just say that they're Russian bots. We're white liberals. We will talk over people in marginalized communities instead of listening to them and trusting their lived experiences. We're white liberals. We'll be recognized as Person of the Year for giving the economy a boost with our concert sales, while staying silent in the face of a genocide and actively destroying the environment with our private planes. We're white liberals. We like to say that we'll hold our own to account, but then we'll just ignore and justify it when our own leader is complicit in war crimes. We're white liberals. We'll put BLM in our bios while simultaneously condemning another country's resistance group that was born out of an unlawful and violent occupation.
Oh, so true. But I got to tell you guys, I have a phobia where I can't touch cotton balls, and the sound of snow. Oh, that was torture for me to have to listen to her with every crunchy footstep. It made my spine just crawl. Now you guys know I have an issue, and everybody around me jokes about it. Like, my kids have always thrown cotton balls at me. Like, it's a bad thing. And as much as I love the snow, I hate going out walking in it. Crunch, 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 crunch. She's right. Of course, that is a spoof of the We're Liberals videos that have been all over fucking Instagram the last couple of weeks. Just absolutely gross virtue signaling bullshit that the liberals always do, right? So that was a good spoof. I wonder how many takes it took her, though, because she had a lot in there. For sure. I just want to say, hey, Crazy Puppet, if you're out there listening, I just want to thank you truly from the bottom of all of our hearts in independent media. You are your brother's keeper, and you keep all of us going. Thank you so much. You single-handedly, I see you out there. You're single-handedly keeping so many of us going. So thank you. I can't say anything more than thank you. Okay, here's one from Oz. Oz dropped this one this morning. This is Free Palestine, Free Gaza. You heard We don't give a fuck. It's not prejudice to call out a genocide state. It's prejudice and discriminatory to not call them out. Yes, this is Hotspot. We love Hotspot.
I'm a black woman in America. Calling me an anti-Semite, it don't fucking hit. Yep. It does not hit. Okay. Y'all try it if you want to, but it doesn't hit. Because if you can look at my face, look me dead ass in my motherfucking eyes, and look past all the fucking parallels between what this country has done to my people. Mine. You don't see the parallels between what this country and Israel is doing to the people of Gaza, Congo, Sudan. If you can look at my face and look past my history, and what you arrive at is anti-Semite, then I guess you reached your motherfucking destination. I guess you did. Because I don't give a fuck what you call me. Free Palestine until it's motherfucking backwards. Says this black woman in America. Yeah.
Ah, yes, I fucking love it, right? And that's the base that the Democrats think they own. Absolutely. I think this one's going to come to smack them in the goddamn face. You know, I was watching Tarzan, the Legend of Tarzan dropped over on Netflix the other day. And the whole fucking time I'm just screaming, fucking colonizers! Like, oh my God, it's so fucking terrible what we've done for centuries and centuries. That's, yeah, the parallels are there. It's there. And I love when she says, call me an anti-Semitic. It don't land. It don't hit. You call me all you want, right? So Israel has brought a mass online influence system to counter the anti-Semitic Hamas atrocity denial. You denials. Let's see. Defense, intelligence, and civil bodies realized soon after October 7th that they were losing the online battle to what sources call Hamas well-oiled psychological and information war machine. So they quietly purchased digital tools to fight disinformation despite fears of the future political misuse. Oh my gosh. Why is Hearts? I thought that was like a flea medicine. It's a news magazine. Anyways, we've seen firsthand, I showed you guys examples of these bot farms that, hey, anybody can volunteer for, right? You can spread posts, you can be a bot, you could be a moderator where you're going in and controlling the stuff that's being put out there. But I just have this question. How the fuck does Hamas have such a well-oiled psychological information machine? How? They barely have fucking internet. They've had how many journalists killed? Over 100 journalists fucking killed. So what is this well-oiled psychological machine that they have? Do they have control of X? I don't get this. We all know that Israel is number one in the fucking world for intelligence and misinformation. This is just more psyop fucking bullshit. And yes, we are all waiting for the day that we see Netanyahu in cuffs, but we know the world's not that way, right? So, you know, America has always been looked at as the world's police, right? I mean, not the UN, because we control the UN, us single-handedly. And they didn't hold back at the Davos World Economic Forum. They wanted you to know that, hey, we've got to be the police.
But the truth is that we are fighting a war for the entire universe, for the free world.
For the universe.
I always say, if Israel was not there, Europe will be next. Because these barbaric jihadists want to get all of us out of the region and want to get all of Europe out of its place as well. And the United States is next too. So this war is something of an essential element in the history of humankind.
It's essential, guys. They're saving the universe. The universe. What? Yes, I love this reface. It says, don't forget to grab a straw because you suck. Yes, absolutely. You guys suck. Telling us we have to fight this war or America's next and Europe's next. We sure hear that a lot, right? What are they going to come invade us with their homemade pipe bombs? Like, I'm confused at how this goes down. How do they sell this that we're next? If you're paying attention, you're not buying it. Taiwan's not buying it anymore either. They have their doubts about America, and they're growing. This could be dangerous. Will deepening skepticism about the United States as trustworthy nation diminish Taiwan's beliefs that it could fend off China? Well, I think they might have got a gander at our support in Ukraine and went, well, I don't know if I want to do this. I hope they go, wait a minute, you guys are stretched us a little too thin. We don't think you have any extra money because we're hearing your economy is shit. And you gave all this money to Ukraine and then you gave all this money to Israel. I don't think you guys have enough money to fend us. I'm hoping that Taiwan's like, maybe we should go talk to Xi Jinping and figure this out, because I don't think our big brother friend, America, is going to save us. I hope. I really do hope, because, they're really beating that drum for, China's coming for us and we got to protect Taiwan, and China and Russia are going to come together and they're just going to crush us. They probably could, and they probably should. Brianna Joy Gray, she's on the hit list for being anti-Semitic, right? And I know we don't watch a lot of Hill over here, guys. Oz had his days of the Hill, and Amber and I always made fun of him for it. But I got to give it to Bree. Bree has really freaking pretty much walked the line. I don't know where she was on COVID. I don't remember, but definitely has been very outspoken about force the vote, stuff like that. And she's taken some hits over at the Hill for it. Well, they pretty much want her gone now. So this is what they're saying. The Hill's online show Rising falls prey to hosts' anti-Israel conspiracy theories. Brianna Joy Gray denied documentation of Hamas's. She denied that Hamas's sexual violence, and accuses Israel of targeting its hostages in Gaza. We know Israel's targeting their own goddamn hostages. We've reported on it multiple times from multiple credible sources. So she had a good, Breeze radar. I think that's what she calls it, right? Which she took from Crystal when she took over for Crystal, or Kim, whoever she took over for. Anyways, she breaks it all down. She breaks down the ICJ. She did a really good job of covering it. I want to say it was like a 10-minute segment that she did, and at the end, fucking Robbie Swabby, this guy is such an idiot that he doesn't even have the words to fight back. And so I didn't bring you the whole thing. I just kind of brought you the end to show you why they're coming for Bree, because of her coverage of this. So Robbie is so revolting. How is that guy still even there? Who likes that guy? Every time I stop by the Hill, it's to give him a thumbs down and to bitch about Robbie. I don't know about you guys.
Is only capable of preventing the victims of a terrorist attack from wiping out the perpetrators of that.
Oh, sorry, guys. God dang it. Try again.
Is only capable of preventing the victims of a terrorist attack from wiping out the perpetrators of that. Some people will ask, should international law be followed or have some kind of validity if it only constrains the regular state actors and does nothing or can do nothing to prevent the kind of terrorism that Hamas engages in and that a majority of the people in Gaza support? What good is it?
So I think that if Palestinians were killing tens of thousands of Israelis over the course of the last few months, not only would we have seen mass international condemnation, which, by the way, the South African petition does unequivocally condemn the acts of Hamas on October 7th, we would have seen American troops and American money committed even more than has already been done.
Which I don't want to see, by the way. I
to
think
defending Israel. So this is a counterfactual that I think whether the situation were reversed and there were tens of thousands of Israelis being killed by Palestinians, absolutely the international community would have risen to their defense. The same way that we send more money to Israel than any other country in the world, precisely for the Iron Dome and to prevent that exact thing from happening. But your question there, Robbie, seems to imply that all of the people of Gaza are, in fact, legitimate victims, legitimate targets for Israel. What you said there, the question that you asked.
I did not say that.
You specifically just asked.
I don't think that.
Is international law appropriate? Is international law good and meaningful and something we should support if it only constrains Israel from wiping out the targets? The argument that the ICJ, that South Africa is making before the ICJ, that Israel is not wiping out the targets, that its statements clearly show an intent to wipe out all of Gaza, to eliminate all of the housing in Gaza, to make it so that no one can grow crops or drink water in Gaza ever again, to parcel off the land of Gaza to the soldiers in Israel, to ship people from Gaza to Congo or at the very least to Egypt, and to ethnically cleanse the population so there is no longer a population of 2.3 million Palestinians in Gaza. That's the allegation, and that's the violation of international law.
And so you know what Robbie says? Robbie doesn't argue back because he doesn't have an argument. He goes, okay, well, we got to take a break. Good argument, fucking Robbie. Robbie is so gross. And, you know, there's a couple of things that she says in there, like the American people, had we seen ongoing continued atrocities after October 7th, of course we would have stood up. We don't want to see any atrocities, Israeli or Palestinian, but that's not what we saw, the reality of it, right? Well, they keep telling us that there was all these sexual assaults and murders that happened on October 7th, and apparently they have a 45-minute long video that they're keeping under fucking wraps, and they only let some people see it. Like, what is this shit? If you wanted to sway the public opinion from day fucking one, you should have put that shit out there. That's not what we're seeing. We're seeing the complete opposite of that. Absolutely. And I don't think anybody wants to see any kind of atrocities, but so gross. So hang in there, Bree. I mean, I'm not a big Bree fan, but yeah, keep fighting them, keep slaying them. That I'm glad that she's doing it. Somebody's got to be in those spaces pushing back, and I appreciate the people that are in those spaces pushing back. I don't just throw the baby out with the bathwater, right? I mean, you guys know I was inside the Democratic Party for 4 years behind enemy lines, and that's what I called it because they looked at me like an enemy. They looked at me worse than a fucking Republican. I mean, they were more hand in hand with Republicans than they were with us progressives or whatever the hell we wanted to call ourselves. And I just lost the train of thought on that, but it happens. Let's see. Robert Durden says, holy fuck, I love how cringe Israel are. I hope they do it all day long. Oh, so this dropped yesterday. This is a pro-Palestinian protest group are using Haka, is that how you say it? To fight off Palestinian supporters. Now, I had to literally go look up what Haka was. I was like, okay, I know what it is, but where did it come from? It came from New Zealand native tribes. So what the fuck does that have to do with Palestine? What the fuck does that have to do with Israel? I'm just confused here, but here, check it out. What in the fuck was that? Tell me you're a Zionist tool without telling me you're a Zionist tool. But I have questions. Do they get together and practice that shit? Because that looked well rehearsed. You know, I was on dance team in high school and we would spend fucking hours being that much in sync practicing. I'm assuming that there's some scheduled practices that go on for that shit. What is happening? I know, right? And yeah, tell me that you're not a crazy fucking psycho by doing shit like that. If I was standing there, I would just be like, what the fuck is going on here? I don't get it. I don't get it. What does New Zealand tribal dance have to do with Israel? Do they do that? I think they've been watching Aquaman too many times because don't they do that in Aquaman? I think that's Jason Momoa's whole big thing, right? Oh, it's so cringe. Did that make you want to vote? and make you want to vote for, how are you voting this year? Zionism or Zionism? Yeah, get that vote out there because, there's a Zionist waiting for your vote. They get paid the big bucks from the Apex lobby to get your vote. And we know that. Remember, they're coming for AOC because she won't take that money. The New Zealand Zionists. Yeah, that's what we'll call them. The New Zealand Zionists. Yeah, it doesn't even, I can't even wrap my mind around it. So we've talked about this next one many times. And of course, that is the organ harvesting that is going on in Israel. It seems like anywhere we're dumping money for a fucking war, we're stealing organs while we're doing it, right? We're harvesting. This is a British doctor who went and saw it first fucking hand, coming back and telling us the truth about it.
They've seen bodies taken, released, captured, and when they've returned to them, they've had organ harvesting. So they've seen the evidence that happens. Israel itself has said, for example, that they have the largest skin bank throughout the world, and that much of that skin is taken and harvested from the bodies of their prisoners, of their victims. So what we see is we live in a world in which everything is commodified.
Everything is commodified, including the organs and skin of the Palestinian hostages that are being held by Israel. Are we shocked? No, we said the same shit about Ukraine. Remember all the basement labs that we were hearing about that they were finding in Ukraine? Yeah, organs are big bucks. Why would it be any different that this is just another commodity that they're harvesting? It's not shocking to me. I'm going to go back one. There we go. I got two says, but let's go with the first one. I didn't bring the video of this because it's just disgusting and horrific to watch, but you'll get the point from the meme or the screenshot. Fee says, breaking per video from Quads News. The Israeli army fired at hundreds of displaced people waiting for food trucks on the outskirts of Gaza City, killing and injuring several citizens. And the video, you literally just see mass people running for their lives. And this isn't the first time we've seen this. We saw this a couple times in the last few weeks. We know there's no food or water in Gaza. We've heard a lot of stories about how they're going days and days without food. When they do get food, it's a little bit of flour that they can manage to make maybe a flatbread out of. And that's what a lot of them have been surviving on. So we see these trucks, these food trucks, even though we know there's very little aid is making it into Gaza from what we understand, right? So there's what do they call it? Multi-purpose tools. So they go through these trucks that are lined up in Egypt of aid to come into Gaza. And if there's one thing on the truck that could be used to hurt somebody, I don't even know, like a fork. Oh my God, a fork could be used to stab somebody. So they send the whole truck back. So if it's a truck full of water and there's one thing on that truck that they think could be dual purpose, I think that's what they call it, dual purpose, they'll send the truck back. So there is very little fucking aid actually making it into Gaza, right? When Biden and his administration's asked about it, they're like, we don't know what's holding it up. We're sending it. It's not getting in there, but they send these food trucks in. And then as the people go to the food truck thinking, oh yeah, I'm going to get something to eat, they just fucking open up on them like shooting fish in a barrel. This is what they're doing. It's disgusting. It's beyond disgusting. But yeah, poor Israel, right? We're told that every day. This guru, how do you say his name? Is it Sahi Guru? Wants you dead. So he went to Davos to say, there's too many people in the world. Y'all need to go.
For him. I think there was a sense of relief, actually, in your frankness. You brought up some issues that others are reluctant to bring up.
That's my trouble. Always. All the religious groups are against me because I'm talking about population. They want more souls. I want less on the planet. All the religious groups are against me because I'm talking about population. They want more souls. I want less on the planet.
Wonder how many girlfriends he has. Don't they all have girlfriends, those gurus? I thought they did, right? I went on a Beatles White Album kick this week. I don't know what that was about, but yeah, it's been playing over. He's another Tony Robbins. Yes. Oh my God, what is up with the Tony Robbins? He's fucking everywhere the last 2 weeks. I haven't seen or heard a thing from Tony Robbins since Shallow Hal 25 fucking years ago. And now he's everywhere. I keep getting emails. Will you attend? Like, fuck all the way off. No, like, I don't need him to save my life and my world. But good news, because population is on the decline. TrueStream this morning, Melissa did an amazing thread over on the X. Go to TrueStream media over there, and she breaks it all down. Like, we are set to fall under that 2.1 replenishment level for the general population. We're already seeing mass drop-offs in Japan and so many other places. Like, overpopulation is not going to be the fucking problem in the future. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Because right now, we're not reproducing enough to replace what was already here, right? And that's what they say is the model. 1 in 6 is now sterile in the world. 1 in 6 is now sterile. And I'm sure that's much higher since the boop boop, right? So yeah, population decline will happen. And I absolutely thought for the longest time that we are overpopulated. But I don't know if we're overpopulated as much as it's just not using resources properly, right? I think we have enough resources. We could take care of everybody. We just don't. That's not the plan. And that's not the capitalistic way, right? Capitalism will save us. Yeah, Hartman, he looks so shocked here. Don't be so shocked, Hartman. They want you dead. Duh. That's the bottom line. Klaus, this was on the deck for Saturday night, but I pulled it just because it was just so simple and silly.
Thank you to His Excellency.
Yeah, eat those bugs. The World Economic Forum wishes every district a happy Hunger Games. I think that was left over from last week, but maybe odds forever be in your favor, right? Okay, so I saw somebody else caught this too. AM Wake Up caught this morning. Shout out to those guys. But so the Soros, what do you call it? The Soros father-son duo right here, because Alex Soros, of course, he had to go to Davos and get his daddy's wishes out there, but neither one of them can talk. Now, Daddy Soros, he has an excuse, right? It's been said he had a stroke, but what the hell is Alex's excuse? Listen to these guys.
The melting of the Greenland ice sheet affects acid would increase the level of the oceans by 7 meters.
Oh my God. I thought oceans were rising. What the fuck is he even talking about? I don't even think he knows what he's talking about. I thought that was clipped. Like, oh, come on, somebody edited it. No, that is one of the men that, secretly runs the country or policy.
I don't think that's the fundamental. I don't think technology is the fundamental issue in democracy. Democracy is messy. I mean, democracy is about contestation of ideas. It's about plurality. It's about people having different truths, actually. Now, fundamentally, how society lives together civically in those contestations is obviously quite tricky. But I think that if we play too much on this disinformation card, we're taking the responsibility away from ourselves to actually create a narrative that inspires people to vote and to believe, in democracy and democratic institutions. On the institutional part, I think that we can talk about institutions as these abstract things, but institutions are also about people. And we just heard this point about untrustworthy people, and we talked about things in the United States like checks and balances, which aren't written anywhere but are customs. And one man, Donald Trump, literally came in and just took that all away. But when I see this, when I look at this, more globally regarding democracy, I also say to myself, when was this great time that everybody got along so well and things were going so great? I mean, I think I think that we really.
Oh, the leaders of the Democratic Party are so well-spoken. That, of course, is the ghost of Kissinger coming for you, because Soros was a lackey of Kissinger's, and of course his son Alex would be. It looks like Soros, George himself, right? We heard he stepped down, about 6 months ago and turned the reins over to Alex, right? And being inside the Democratic Party, you learned really fast that no matter what anybody says, the Democratic Party does whatever fucking Soros wants, because Soros has dumped a shit ton of money into it for the last 20, 30 fucking years, right? So it's basically Soros's policy that the shit libs are pushing. It's not going to change anytime soon, but you're not allowed to talk about Soros or the voting machines that he owns. But we own and run the Fed. We are your enemy. Of course, that would be a Lord Jacob D. Rothschild, Baron John D. Rothschild, David Rockefeller. Well, he's not around anymore, right? Kissinger, bye-bye. He's not around anymore. Is that Paul Volacker? Lloyd Blankenfein, Fine, Blankenfein. His son. Oh, okay. So look at how many Rothschilds there are. I can count 4 Rothschilds on here. But isn't it crazy that the last richest people in the world report came out? There wasn't one fucking Rothschild on it. Makes you wonder. Of course, Soros is on this list, along with Larry Sumner's. Yeah, we see you. So that's who's running the Fed. But they tell you, they tell you the Democrats are in charge. They tell you the president's in charge. No, it is the owners that are in charge at the end of the day. And it's their policy that gets pushed. Now, I put that Soros thing on the deck Friday. I had it. It was too long to take to Beauty and the Boomers, so I threw it on the deck for Friday. Well, guess what? I get up this morning. Alex Soros is trending. I'm like, what the fuck? Now what'd he do? He threatened Trump with this encrypted meme. So last year, the crime and inflation crisis largely evaporated. Okay. Oh, if you say so. So did the leading theories about what caused them. And then, of course, he tweeted out this bullet hole and this money. And people are saying, if you count it up, it's 10, 20, 5, 6, 7. It's supposedly 47, right? That's Trump's number with a bullet. So they're saying that he sparks controversy with cryptic tweet alluding to Trump's removal. No, that's not removal. That's assassination. Saying how it truly is. And he apparently is taking a book out of the Q-Tards playbook because the symbolism of count the dollars and you'll get to 47 and that means Trump. And let me tell you guys, the Q-Tards are back and they are going strong. I saw them the other day going off on something and I was like, oh shit, not the Q-Tards. Yeah, they're back. They never really went away, right? A lot of people say that was a CIA psyop. The Q-Tards? Probably. Who knows? You always have the homegrown ones that jump in on there. Far more Rothschilds than chins on that picture. Yeah, Chris, for sure. To say the Rothschilds aren't in charge is just stupid. People are like, oh, they lost their money. They're not in charge anymore. They're not the most important family. Dude, you don't control the world for 3 fucking centuries and then lose your stranglehold. That's not what happened. They just fly under the fucking radar. They're not in the Forbes top 100, They're there, I promise. We've looked at it many fucking times. Let's talk Hunter Biden. Hunter got a new tattoo. Can you tell me what it is? I'll show you. Look, what is it? When I first saw the picture itself, I was like, oh my God, he put fingernail scratches down his back. He must really like to get it on. No. That is not what they are. They are finger related. These are the Five Fingers Lake. Is that what it is? Fingers Lakes. They're in upstate New York. And yeah, it matches perfectly. It's definitely what he has tattooed on his back is the 5 fingers or the finger lakes. And why though? Why? Why does he have these tattooed on his back? A lot of people say now when you go and you look at the Finger Lakes, there's a lot of trafficking, a lot of human trafficking that's going down in those lakes. And it's not a conspiracy. There's a lot of freaking reports. There's even conspiracies that say that all of those lakes connect like in a cavern underground, and they have some kind of submarine that pops up next to an old abandoned amusement park. Now, I've seen that amusement park because you guys know I like to watch abandoned places, but so I know exactly where they're talking about, but I didn't know there was a serious trafficking problem up there. It makes you wonder. I don't know. What are the Bidens running through Finger Lake? Humans, dope, money, take your pick. Probably all 3, but Hunter Biden. So gross, this guy. You guys saw the video, right? That came out about 8 months ago, maybe, where he pretty much fucking admits that the Russians, he's high, he's in a hotel room, he's naked, he's with a hooker, and he says, oh yeah, these Russians once set me up with this hooker who got me all messed up. They didn't know if I was alive or dead, but then that Russian took my laptop and he was trying to leverage it. Like, it was his laptop. We've said it from day one. It was his laptop. We said the story wasn't going away. So his little buddy had to testify against him. And so now he is set to testify behind closed doors. Will the Republicans ever make anything come of this? Come on. We know they won't. We know they won't because they don't want called out for their corruption. Megyn Kelly, breaking news. She says Epstein's still alive. I was a little taken with this video. Like, what the fuck is she talking about? But she's convinced that we're going to get an appearance from Epstein himself. Now, we've been saying Epstein's not dead for a long fucking time. I don't know. Do you think he's going to resurface to clear his good name? Megyn Kelly does.
We're not done with Jeffrey Epstein. I can tell you that for a fact. Can't tell you how I know, but I can tell you for a fact we're going to hear a lot more about Jeffrey Epstein in the coming year, and you may be even hearing from him directly. More on that as I'm allowed to tell you.
What does she know? What does she know? Yeah, we've been saying for a long time because he was a Mossad security asset, they just made it look like they killed him. We've all seen that cadaver that was wheeled out of the jail with the nose that doesn't look anything like Epstein, the ears that doesn't look anything like Epstein. There's no video of Epstein being or dying, right? They don't have any evidence that Epstein's actually. A lot of people say he's sitting on an island somewhere, but would he come back to burn these people down? I don't know. Megyn Kelly seems to think so, though. I mean, I could buy that he's still alive. I totally could buy he's still alive. But I'm not buying that he's going to come take some primetime freaking interview and be like, surprise, I'm alive. Guess what? All these guys are bad and I have the video to prove it. Come on. Oh my God. It's too cartoon. The second coming of Epstein. What the fuck? Yes. He's going to walk on water just like Jesus for sure. Okay. Well, there's no commentary with this. It just made me laugh. I just got to say. RFK Jr. supporters are fucking delusional. Give me a sword and some ground to stand on, and I will save your country and bring it back to you, RFK Jr. I love the fox looking up at him as he's pulling the sword out of the stone. Oh, this is so cringe. Ugh. These are as bad as the Trump is Jesus videos, right? I like the viper that's about to bite him in the freaking ankle. Yeah, because that's the reality. Oh my God. So delusional. So fucking delusional. And I know lots of them. I know lots of the delusional RFK Jr. supporters. You know what it is? They just want a sense of belonging and they want that feeling of normal. Like, oh, I have a candidate to support this election. Things are okay. And things are not okay, guys. Things are never going to be okay. And any candidate that we're supporting, unless they're 100%, no. RFK Jr. is not it. We know that. Chicago mayor treated at a hospital for a panic attack amid illegal immigrants crisis, reports say. 2 sources told me that he has been in the hospital for these panic attacks and his stress is out of control because this is a big, big job for him. There's so much rhetoric going on when it comes to immigration. I just don't even know what to believe anymore, right? You see these posts or people that live in rural areas are like, oh my God, they're everywhere and they're not even speaking English. No, that's just cringe. I'm not even buying that. I live very rural and we do have a lot of immigrants that come up here and I don't see a big change. You want to know what I see a big change in? Homelessness. Everyday Americans that are on the streets. And so I'm not going to buy into this anymore. We know immigration's a problem. But it's intentional, right? And they say a lot of this is because of the falling population rates, because we are not being able to replace the workers in our fucking country. So they're going to open up borders and be like, go where you go and whatever country has the most people wins at the end of the day, right? I think we're going to see a lot more of that in the next 20 years. Absolutely. The feds were out. They threw a party this weekend, but they took the subway to do it. I don't understand. You guys have money. Why can't you guys rent cars or U-Hauls, right? Don't they always show up in U-Hauls? Let's check out the Patriot Front / feds hanging out together on the subway. Well, that's their leader, right? Why doesn't he mask up? Because everybody knows who he is. Is that why he doesn't mask up? Now, do you guys think these are feds? Do you guys think these are feds or these are true blue blood Americans who mask up and wear khakis and just look like feds and they're just flexing their power, their, free speech? I don't buy it. I don't buy it at all. It's got to be feds, right? I don't know. I saw a lot of polls and y'all think that they're feds. I think it was like 98% said yes, these are feds. Your choices were, are these feds or are these MAGA? Well, they're probably both. I don't know. So, as a side note, how has there not been a single reporter who has followed and tracked this organization to learn who they really are? Yeah, that is kind of odd, right? Only feds. That's funny. Dear feds, at least change the uniform. Yes, you dumbasses. You pick the same exact colors that you wear when you're at work. We all know it's you. I've seen a lot of people going off on this. Of course, Jimmy always goes off on it. Yeah, the Fed front for sure. Let's talk Elon. Elon is hanging out in Auschwitz today with Ben Shapiro. Oh, how freaking vomit worthy is this shit? So if you are, pro-Palestinian, anti-Zionist bullshit, your time on X is very limited. I promise you, especially because they keep telling Elon, you got to go out and do this shit, right? I don't think Elon wanted to take a trip to Auschwitz. I think, his, APEC, IDF handlers like, no, you have to go do a photo shoot with Ben Shapiro and you need to do it now. So let's check it out. Never again. Never again. Yet they're the ones that are doing it to another race of human beings on the planet. So vomit, But I don't think we're going to be on X much longer if you're opposing the mainstream narrative. And we're shadow banned as it is. And we've seen mass people suspended or just completely wiped off X in the last couple of weeks. And it's going to keep going. We know it. You know it. Elon seeks a greater shares of Tesla before pushing AI ambitions. Musk says that he is not comfortable with Tesla becoming market leaders in AI and robotics without him at least controlling 25% of the vote. Yes, this is a real fucking story. Let me see. I have it somewhere. No, that's 5G wireless. Where is it? Come here, you Elon story. Maybe I don't have it. Anyways, basically what he said to them was, I'm not going to give you guys any more AI information. I'm not going to tell you about AI. We're not going to do the AI thing until you guys give me more controlling shares of Tesla. That's his leverage. That's his fucking leverage. I'm sure he'll probably get it at the end of the day. He always does. He always gets what he wants. Let's see. I would never be a simp. At your service, my king. Yeah, what is up with the Elon Musk simps? They are some of the worst, and we deal with a lot of simps out there, but these Elon Musk sycophants, they are the worst. Absolutely. Oh my God, Elon's saving us all. Have you seen the Tesla trip light shows? Okay, so they're doing these Tesla light shows around the globe in support of Israel, where they all drive their Teslas to a spot and then they line them up like they're fucking synchronized swimmers and they flash their lights. And yeah, it's just virtue signaling gross shit. That's, rooted in Tesla. But the other side's the bad guy. I just see bad guys all the way around. I don't see left bad guy, right bad guy. I just see bad guys. And that's the difference. We got a lot of articles coming up. Let's see. Blackstone defaults on NYC office tower loan for sale at 50% discount. Now, this is one of the nicer freaking office spaces in New York, from what I understand. And it's not the first thing that Blackstone has defaulted on in the last couple of fucking weeks. So what is going on? When Blackstone is losing money, they're broke and nobody's talking about it. They don't want you to know this. They absolutely don't want you to know this. I mean, this is super flying under the radar that Blackstone is defaulting on a lot of shit. Why? Because our economy sucks and nobody has any money. Maybe that's it. I don't know. Let's do some 5G. I think I got this one from Miss Amber King. What's up, Miss Amber, if you're out there? 5G dangers, 13 reasons 5G wireless technology could be catastrophic for humanity. Now, I have this article. Let's run over the 15 different ways. Let me bring it in. Soros, what is this called? 5G danger. 6G. Where's the 5G? Oh, there it is. It's at the top. Okay, let's check this out. Some of these are shocking, some of them not so much. But I've been screaming this for many, many years. People tell me all the time 5G is safe. I do not absolutely believe 5G is safe. So 5G dangers, 13 reasons 5G technology will be catastrophic to humanity. First one, 5G dangers is hijacking your sweat ducts. What? You have sweat duct antennaes? My mother always used to tell me this, and I was always like, what? No, we're not a walking antenna. We are walking antennas, if you didn't know. 5G danger. 5G amplifies the EMF danger via VGCC. Let's see. What is VGCC? Voltage gain calcium channels. Let's see. 3 says pulse wave far more damaging continuous wave radiation, right? You'll hear a lot of those in the know that'll tell you that 5G is, it's just short waves. It's just short waves. Short waves can't fuck you up. It's not a continual wave that's coming at you. They're just short little bursts that are coming at you, right? So yeah, we're told that. 5G, let's see. 5G promotes deep EMF penetration. Oh, that doesn't sound good. Let's see. The industry has also made claims that more conventional microwave frequencies, EMFs, are limited in the effects to the outer 1 centimeter of the body. We know that is not true. However, because the effects deep in the human brain, on the heart, and on the hormone system, perhaps the most important 2 studies demonstrating effective effects deep within the body are the studies of Professor Hazing and his colleagues in Switzerland. Information on newborn calves. So they did a study on newborn calves to see how the EMFs are, how deep are they penetrating, and they're penetrating much deeper than what they said. 5G is a weapon system disguised as consumer convenience. Yes, we have said that. They can pinpoint your router in your area, hit you with some oh, that's conspiracy. That no way. LA firefighters develop ailment after being too close to the towers. Yeah, we've seen this multiple schools, children getting tumors and shit when these towers are built and close to them. Some frequencies are used for crowd dispersal. Oh yeah, they can't do the megahertz thing where they run you off with a sound, right? No, sound cannons are made up. Causes DNA damage, carcinogens, causing cancer. Oh, that's just made up. EMF radiation doesn't hurt you. Phase array densification. I don't even know what that means. I'm trying to read it real fast to tell you guys what it means. 3D map inside each home. Yeah, they definitely can build a 3D map. They don't have to have a camera to look into your house now. They can do it with the 5G megahertz. They know if there's bodies in that room. They know where they're at in that room. They don't need a camera now. They can look through your Wi-Fi, your router. It kills all the insects. Yes, we've seen that. It kills insects. It kills trees, right? We've seen one side of a tree will be dead. One side of a tree will be fine. Space-based 5G. Oh yeah, they want to put it in space. They're already putting it in space. We've talked about this a couple of different times. Radiation inside the body. Oh, that sounds like a good time. And let's see, insurance companies refuse to underwrite big wireless. What do they know? Yeah, always look to the insurance companies, right? That we look to the insurance companies for COVID for a lot of answers too, because they don't lie about their numbers because, hey, they got to make their money and they got to have the numbers to make the money. 5G grid is part of a larger command, control, surveillance, and artificial intelligence agenda. Yeah, absolutely. Let's see. What does this one say? 5G is quantitatively different than 4G. It is much more than just the next step up from 4G. 5G will not only beam tens of hundreds of thousands of times more radiation than 4G, but the introduction of the MMV technology means a whole new host of hazards. History repeats itself, just like it took some time for real science to catch up with the tobacco and cigarettes, and just like it took some time for real science to catch up with the monstrosity that are GMOs, which have now been rebranded as bioengineered foods, so long will take real science to catch up with 5G. In the meantime, you can expect all sorts of junk science to be put forth to justify it, including misdirections, distractions, and only forcing on the thermal efforts of the wireless and ignoring the evidence of the danger of the non-thermal efforts. And yes, this is what we see. I've networked with a lot of doctors when it comes to 5G, and the shit that they are saying is just mind-blowing, and they're called conspiracy theorists. These are doctors that come together. They're doing continued education. They're bringing their studies with them as they talk about this, but they're crazy conspiracy theorists. We as activists have always talked about the crowd dispersal, weaponization of 5G. But 5G is not even where it's at anymore, guys. We've been beyond 5G for some time now. We are at 6G. So let's talk about 6G. What is 6G? 6G. Here we go. I got you an article for 6G. Turn on. Come on. There we go. Okay. So is this it? Yeah, 6G. I'm going to move the slide real fast. Okay. So 6G wireless internet is already here if you are in the Army. So if you are in the Army, let me get back to it. Yeah, 6G wireless. So this was February 25th, 2020. 2020, guys. We're in 2024. 2024. So in 2020, they were saying, hey, the military is already on 6G. But if you tell somebody that now, they're like, oh, you're a fucking conspiracy theorist, right? So it says Washington, D.C., a dismounted soldier taking enemy fire in a highly intense combat engage comes across a virtual enemy location, snaps a quick picture of the area with his handheld device, and then transmits the time-sensitive intelligence information to another soldier and ground commanders. Images are then sent to the air and ground units in position to attack, and the enemy asset is destroyed in an instant, long before it has the opportunity to strike U.S. forces. Now, we know that they are deploying this and using this in Israel, but they're still managing to get their asses, just annihilated by Hamas when they do go in. So this is the kind of scenario that represents the type of warfare scenario increasingly receiving attention from the Army technology and weapons development. Success or failure, even life or death, can hang in the balance of a new network speed to include computer processing, radio transmission, and other kinds of electricity relevant communication systems. In short, strong, fast, wide range networks that can determine victory in war. So there you are. They are using 6G to communicate on the ground real time for war. Are we shocked? Most people are. People are, oh, we're not using 6G yet. We've been telling you 6G is here for a long, long damn time. Long time. So believe it or not, there you are. Those are the articles. You want 7.5G. Yeah. Let's see. Seattle Times, Washington State has long been so tilted against the poor that it routinely tops the worst of lists for the nation. No longer, writes columnist Danny Westneat. Now Florida is the worst. Now, okay, so we've been told that Washington State has the most regressive tax system in the nation and that it taxes the poor. The poor pay 17.9% in Washington State. The rich pay 3.9%. And because we're a state that doesn't have a state income tax, we pay our taxes for send items, right? If you smoke, if you drink, if you buy soda pop, if you buy candy, all those send taxes on everything. And so, hey, good news. Good news, Washington State. You are no longer the most tax poor people in the fucking country. Florida is. Now, that doesn't mean that you are taxed less. It just means Florida's being taxed more. So yay. Yay. I'm so glad that we don't have the number one spot anymore. I'm still sad that I'm paying some of the highest poor taxes in the fucking world and have been my whole entire life. So gross. So gross. These are a couple of local stories. I want you guys to remember this name because I don't think it's going to go away anytime soon. And that is Bob Ferguson. Now, I know Bob Ferguson. I supported Bob Ferguson over the years. I don't think I support Bob Ferguson anymore. He is a Washington State Dem. He is a deep blue. But because he's an attorney, he doesn't tend to normally get into the mix with the political, BS over the last few years. But he does now because he wants to run for governor. This guy, I think, wants to be president someday. So a massive supermarket merger proposal between Kroger and Albertsons would drive up prices and limit options for shoppers, according to Washington State Attorney Bob Ferguson. His office has filed a lawsuit to block this deal. What do you guys think? Should we allow more mergers? I mean, okay, great, Bob. I'm glad you're stopping this merger because literally every fucking grocery store in Washington State is owned by the same grocery store. Now, we thought that Kroger's and Albertsons were together. Albertsons is Safeway where I live because Safeway bought up Albertsons. We don't actually have Albertsons anymore. I don't even know why they're calling it Albertsons. And the only other store we have in town is a Kroger's, which is too expensive to shop at. Bob has done some really good things over the years, like suing, he recently sued Tyson chicken for over price gouging us. And I think everybody in Washington's supposed to get like a $50 check or something. These stupid recall type checks that you got to apply for and whatnot. They just sent one to my dead mother, but when I applied, I never got one. So maybe it's your address. I don't know. But here's the thing about Ferguson. Ferguson has walked the line in Washington state very quietly. As a Dem, he gets his money from the Dems. The DCCC dumps money on him. He holds these big, $200, $500 a plate dinners. I've been to quite a few of them over the years. But I always liked Bob because he was going after the big corporations. He was going after these, these multi-level corporations that come together and they control everything. And he was great at it. He was great at it until a couple of years ago when he got TDS. He got TDS and started suing Trump for everything, right? Oh, I got to sue Trump because I'm a Dem and he's a Republican. But here's the thing. Governor Jay Inslee has announced that he's not running for governor again, which is going to open the door for some new candidates. And I see Bob Ferguson stepping up. And with that, he will start towing the rope for the Dems harder than he has been. Makes me sad too, because he could have been a champion for us, but he's not. He won't be at the end of the day. But I guess I'm happy he blocked that sale. I don't know. To each their own. There's some people out there doing weird shit in this world right now, and here's one of them. Ecosexual woman embarks on an exotic relationship with an oak tree. To each their own. I don't know. I guess if she wants to love a big oak tree, that's up to her. I get it. I love trees. I like to hug trees. I don't want to hump a tree. I like trees. I want to save trees. I don't want to be in a relationship with the tree. Yeah, the morning wood. That was freaking hilarious. Let's see. What is this? Ubisoft executive says gamers need to get comfortable with not owning your game. No more buying games. You will own nothing and you will like it, including you will not own Call of Duty anymore. I'm sorry. You can't go spend $80 on a game. No, they're going to make you pay for that shit weekly or something, right? Is that what the bottom line is on that? I think so. Is it cold where you're at? If you're in the United States, we have been in this snow globe for over, about a week and a half now. And I told you guys last week, I think it's done on purpose. I believe they control the weather. We have stayed steady. My little thing on my computer, my weather bug, has stayed at 39 degrees now for 5 fucking days. I haven't seen it move once that cold snap stopped. And it was like that before that cold snap came in. A lot of speculation that they did it so that way there would be low voter turnout. I don't know if somebody is directing the planes to go, do the stratospheric injections, because you're not allowed to say chemtrails anymore. It's stratospheric injections. Would it be the Biden administration or the deep state? They'd be like, get those planes in the air. We need it to be fucking cold. We need it so cold that nobody wants to bundle up and go out and turn out for these primaries. I don't know. Have you ever heard of this is Woodrow TV. I like Woodrow TV. He has a little bit of a religious bent to a lot of his stuff, but he's a great researcher. He always, researcher. He always brings great research. Of course, he was one of the ones who really told us about eating the bugs and how your body's going to reject the bugs, what's in the bugs that your body can't handle. So I tend to listen to him when he does some research. So let's hear what he has to say about the snow.
So I'm just going to go ahead and say it. Does anyone feel like they are using geoengineering to affect the weather? This freak weather? I know people are going to point the finger and shout, conspiracy theorists. I don't care. Not you guys, but they're out there. The ones who look at people like myself discussing such things. Oh, how convenient is it to keep everyone in their homes at this stage in the election game? Listen, they can create the rain and stop the rain. They can create the snow and stop the snow. They can make it hot. They can make it cold. They can, they will, and they do. This snow, it's like the snow they make at ski resorts. Have you noticed that? Do you guys want to know how I know that this weather is likely manufactured? Well, we are going to get into that in a moment. Just understand that the media lies about everything, especially the future.
I love his channel. Oh, look a little crazy. I love his channel. Go check this out. This one's called Geoengineering, What You Need to Know About This Freak Weather. And he really breaks down the science behind how this snow is different from other snow and what we're seeing. Like out at the Great Lakes, we're seeing these snowballs develop, and there's only one way a snowball can develop it on itself, and it has to have a certain chemical in it. And he does a great job with that. Steve, I know, right? A girl in grade school would literally hump a tree at lunchtime. Did you go to school with Mary Catherine Kate? Remember Superstar? That chick? Didn't she make out with trees in that movie? Or am I remembering wrong? Yeah, I think she did make out with trees. Molly Shannon, that was a fucking hilarious movie. So, anyways, did you guys eat snow when you were kids? Did you eat snow? Like, that was a thing when we were kids. Oh, it's snowing. Let's make some snow cones. You know, you get your flavors out, whatever. I don't remember eating too much snow as a kid, but I know it was a thing. And so with all the snow that we've had this week, I found a recipe for snow ice cream. I don't know. Would you guys try it? Would you eat ice cream made out of stuff that came out of our skies? I couldn't.
Hey y'all. It snowed a blizzard today, so you know we had to make some snow ice cream. And this is real easy, it's just 4 ingredients. All you need is 12 cups of snow, 2 cups of milk, 1 cup of sugar, and a splash of vanilla. Just mix all that together until it's the consistency that you want it. And that's it, it's ready to eat. We just put it in a Tupperware and put it in the freezer so we can eat some later too. Okay, love y'all, bye.
Okay, so we're poor in the trailer park. We eat a lot of crazy fucking shit. And I'll give you an example. The other day I made potato candy. Have you ever heard of potato candy? It's literally like 2 ingredients, maybe 3. You take a potato, you boil it, you mash it up, and it's a starch ultimately when you mash it up. And then you take like 20 cups of powdered sugar. I'm exaggerating. It's more like 10, but that's still a lot. And you dump it in there and you make like this, it turns into a dough almost, and you roll it out and then you spread peanut butter over it and you roll it up and you cut it into these little bite-sized candies. It kind of tastes like the inside of a Reese's Pieces, right? So we eat a lot of crazy, poor shit in the trailer park, but we ain't eating this. I can promise you that. And I did eat a lot of snow as a kid. I remember it. Like, you know, you'd be out thirsty and sledding, whatever. You just grab a handful of snow. I would never eat the snow nowadays. But if you think about it, I don't know. The air was pretty polluted back in the 80s too. It was probably a little bit more polluted with the stuff that was going into the environment. I just can't. When I look up in the sky and I see chemtrails like that, it just doesn't inspire me to want to eat a big bowl of snow ice cream. Ew. I don't advise it. But hey, to each their own, right? To each their own. You want to eat some snow ice cream? Go ahead. I had a little gnat hatching in one of my plants and they're driving me crazy. Gnats. Water is freely flowing down the Klamath River for the first time in 100 years. This was exciting to me. They're pulling out the dams finally. And it's been 100 years since water flew. I've got a map. Let me show you. I'll bring this in real fast. You guys know my grandfather was a marine biologist at the University of Washington who studied salmon. So this has always been something that I've been interested in. You know, I would love to see our natural streams restored. And we're finally starting to see it in the Pacific Northwest. They've pulled out quite a few dams, including one that we had here in the Olympic Mountains. and that's called the Elwha. It was the Elwha River, which really the Elwha River, that is all of our native tribes on the Olympic Peninsula depended on that river. And of course, just like we fuck over everybody with treaties, we gave them the mouth of that river, but then we fucking dammed it off so nothing could get up it or get down it. And finally, we're starting to see some of the ecosystem be restored. It's pretty damaging when they first let that water out, right? All that sediment comes rushing down. We had a big sediment washout at the mouth, but it's now starting to level itself out. So I'm sure they'll have these problems too. So water is freely flowing down the Klamath River for the first time in 100 years, following years of activism from indigenous communities, because we took the indigenous people, we put them on reservations. We said, this is your land. And we said, this is the only waterways that you can access for your living. Right. And then we fucked all those rivers up. So let's see, 257 miles between Oregon and northern Western California. Once was the third largest salmon producing river on the West Coast. It supported a healthy population of Chinook, Cohos, and Steelhead, which all those run here. And that is how the indigenous tribal groups lived off the river basin. However, construction of the Pacific Corp hydro dams along the river between 1911 and 1962 led to a major decline in wild fish stocks. The dams effectively stopped the strong flows of water needed to flush out the toxins, the algae, the worms, the orgasms that cause disease in fish. Now the dams are reaching the end of their lifetime, signaling an ideal time to remove them and attempt to revive the river's once thriving ecosystems. So here's the map here. You can see this is the California-Oregon border that you're looking at right there. And yeah, they're opening those all up again. I'm glad to see it. But where do we come up with the to replace the power is the real good question, right? We all want to change our energy usage, our energy sources. That's what they've told us for years now. You guys are the problem. You got to get off this, you got to get off of that. But just this winter alone, they're telling us we're going to see blackouts and brownouts still because they are not producing enough power to heat America and keep us warm and lit up during this winter, right? So yeah, what is the answer? Is the answer to, did Chanda just say orgasms? You guys are so funny. Where are we going to get this extra power at? If we start pulling out these dams, where are we going to get the extra power? Especially now that everybody's got a motherfucking Tesla that needs to be plugged in and charged, right? Because you're not driving a gas car anymore. I don't think they're compensating well enough with alternative energy sources. They're just going to put us in a bad lark. That's what's coming. You guys are funny. Let me get my deck back in here. You guys are always looking for me to say stuff. Okay, here we are. Oz dropped this one on me earlier. I haven't even had a chance to watch it, so we can watch it together. This came in last minute. So Dana White introduces Canadian reporter to the concept of free speech. Reminder, free speech refers to the fundamental right to express one's thoughts, ideas, opinions without fucking censorship. Yes, Oz, I agree. Let's hear.
About you obviously give a long leash to your fighters about, what they can say when they are up there with a UFC microphone and you are getting into territory of homophobia, transphobia, is there...
I don't give anybody a leash.
Well, I'm saying you...
A leash?
I'm
free speech. Control what people say. Gonna tell people what to believe. Gonna tell people... I don't fucking tell any other human being what to say, what to think, and there's no leashes on any of them. What is your question?
I was asking that question. I'll move on, though.
Yeah, probably a good idea. That's ridiculous to say I give somebody a leash. Free speech, brother. People can say whatever they want and they can believe whatever they want.
That's right. Free speech. Say what you want, believe what you want. I absolutely agree. That's a good clip, Oz. I agree. That was great. Bill Gates is building a bunker. Maybe he knows something we don't know. They're all building bunkers, right? Every week I have some fucking elite asshole up here with building a bunker. We had Zuckerman last week or Zuckerberg last week. And now we got Gates. Of course, Gates is in Wyoming, though. He wants to go hang out in Wyoming. Consume. Jamie Deluxe, you guys know Jamie Deluxe is going to stop by the show. I've got him set up. We just got to lock in the date. And I got Jesse Jett coming over too. Jamie Deluxe hasn't really put out a lot of videos the last couple of months. He says he's not fucking inspired. And I get it. You got to be inspired to want to do this, right? Especially when you're doing it in your spare time. But he did drop a new video yesterday. It's called Statistically Speaking. Now, we see all of these virtue signaling leaders out there putting out their book reading lists, right? Their book club. And Gates is no different. He's got his reading list out there. And in his reading list, Jamie decided to go read some of these fucking books that Gates is putting out there telling people, hey, you should go check this out. So he drops a video yesterday. And when you know it, YouTube blocks the video in certain areas for the music. It says your video is muted in certain countries where Meta does not have music rights. And it's his music. Jamie's a musician. So he got his shit blocked on Meta for his own music. It's just insane. But let's hear what he's talking about Bill Gates. So Bill Gates tells us to go buy this book that's called How to Lie with Statistics. Are we shocked that Bill Gates loves lying with statistics? No, we are not shocked that Bill Gates lies with statistics because that's his game. So here's Jamie breaking down the book.
I finally read the book How to Lie with Statistics by Daryl Huff. Originally published in 1954, 70 years ago. And it is kind of still relevant today. I know that I've already mentioned this book before because Bill Gates had it on a list of his good reads from 2015 from Gates Notes, the blog of Bill Gates, Guide to Number Games. How to Lie with Statistics is a great introduction to a crucial topic by Bill Gates. March 14, 2015. I picked this one up after seeing it on the Wall Street Journal list of good books for investors. It was first published in 1954, but it doesn't feel dated. Aside from a few anachronistic examples, it has been a long time since bread cost 5 cents a loaf in the US. In fact, I'd say it's more relevant than ever. One chapter shows you how visuals can be used to exaggerate trends and give distorted comparisons. It's a timely reminder, given how often infographics show up in your Facebook and Twitter feeds these days. And the last sentence is quoted on the last edition printed of the actual book. A great introduction to the use of statistics, and a great refresher from anyone who's already well versed in it.
Every summer, I try to do a little extra reading. Here's a few books I've read recently that you might enjoy. How to Lie with Statistics by Daryl Huff. Being able to understand what you're looking at and being willing to say, hey, where did that come from? Is that accurate? It's a quick read. It's got a lot of good examples in it. It's a trip to the past, even though the basic points it makes are still as valid today.
A well-wrapped statistic is better than Hitler's big lie. It misleads, yet it cannot be pinned on you. This book is a sort of primer in ways to use statistics to deceive. It may seem altogether too much like a manual for swindlers. Perhaps I can justify it in the manner of the retired burglar whose published reminiscences amounted to a graduate course in how to pick a lock and muffle a footfall.
So go watch the whole thing. That's the first video Jamie's put out in a little while, but I love that he's breaking down that, hey, Bill Gates lies to you with statistics and he just puts it out there, right? We should keep an eye on what these guys are reading, like Obama. Obama's always pushing his book list. I'm so glad I can make your day by saying orgasm instead of orgasms. Organisms. You guys are funny. Go ahead, clip it, put it out there. You guys know I am fair game and I will just laugh at it too at the end of the day. I got one more Bill Gates for you. This was Bill Gates at Davos. What did he have to say at Davos? Wait for it.
We will have new vaccines. We'll have a TB vaccine, malaria vaccine, HIV vaccine, and even the things like COVID vaccines We need to make them have longer duration, more coverage, and we're going to change, instead of using a needle, to use a little patch. So the pandemic really highlighted that we've been underinvested in those innovations.
Oh, we've been underinvested in those innovations, and we're not using needles anymore in the future. We're just going to put a patch. We'll just walk by you, slap a patch on you, and you'll be getting all of your vaccines. Is what he's saying. That's your dystopian future. But he's just going to keep lying to you about statistics, and there you are. But hey, you know, they got to combat shit like this. Arctic zombie virus in Siberia could spark terrifying new pandemic, scientists warn. Threat of outbreak from microbes trapped in permafrost from millennia raised by increased Siberian shipping activity. What the fuck are they shipping out of Siberia? That's just weird. So this is The Guardian doing heavy hitting news. And I have the article, but there's nothing to the article other than they said, well, yeah, you know, there's been some that they killed the amoeba, but they couldn't get out of the amoeba. So it's not that scary. But hey, there could be one further down in the permafrost that could get us all. They've been toting this story for a long time, right? I do want to bring this in because I want to show you guys something really gross about The Guardian. So The Guardian recanted yesterday. I didn't bring it, but they recanted and said, oh, there was terrible atrocities that happened during October 7th. Shut up, Guardian. Okay, so here's the Guardian article, right? It is what it is. It's just stupid. Humans are facing a bizarre new pandemic. Like I said, this is click fear is what it is. How do I read more? Come on. Oh, it won't let me. I'll do it later. There we go. Okay. So what I wanted to show you is once you read a Guardian article, oh, it's not going to do it. It's been telling me you've read 13 Guardian articles. Oh, here it is. You've read 16 articles in the last year. I hope you appreciate this article. Before you move on, I want to ask you if you would consider supporting the Guardian's journalism as we enter one of the most consequential news cycles in a lifetime in 2024. And every time I click on it, that number goes up. What fucking I hope you appreciate this article. Just cracks me up. Fuck off, Guardian. Fuck all the way off, Guardian. I don't appreciate your work. I find it clickbaity crap. And you guys lost your integrity fucking years ago, like back in the Glenn Greenwald days is when you guys lost your shit. Probably more when you were supporting Hillary Clinton. It's just gross. I don't know. I just wanted to point that out. Every time I click on a Guardian article, I have to go see how many articles I've read in the last year. But at least they let you click through, right? A lot of these are like, oh no, you can't, you've read 2 articles. You're not allowed to read anymore. So you got to pay. Those fucking pay site ones are like, fuck you. I ain't paying a dime to read your crap. This I just found gross. So this is a bunch of fucking tourists with masks on in the Congo looking at the silverbacks. Which one's the dumb animal? Yeah, I hear you, buddy. Ugh, isn't that so cringe? I don't know why I found that so cringe. I just did. Here they are with their masks. You're sitting in the middle of a jungle wearing a mask. What? Yeah, it's so gross. This is so gross. People with money, they have no self-awareness, right? So you guys know I'm super excited for Mardi Gras. I wish I was going to Mardi Gras. Mardi Gras is just a mere 3 weeks away. And I always used to go to the New Orleans Jazz and Heritage Festival in, I think it's always in like it's in May, the end of April, the beginning of May, right? And so this year's lineup got dropped and it's sponsored by Shell. Are you surprised? And of course, Shell is paying the likes of the Rolling Stones and the Foo Fighters and Neil Young because he's not a sellout. Chris Stapleton, that one makes me sad. The Killers, I like the Killers. Yeah, I've been to Heart. Yeah, Heart's getting paid by Shell. Yeah, get out there and make those bucks. It is a fun festival though. And then of course Mardi Gras. That's what Mardi Gras looks like. You got everybody up on those balconies, and a lot of people don't understand Mardi Gras. So here's the thing. Yeah, you'll see a lot of tits and ass. It's illegal. It is illegal to take your top off in downtown New Orleans, but it doesn't stop anybody from doing it. I don't know if they've cracked down on that shit, but the goal of Mardi Gras is to get beads. And the value of the beads, you don't want the cheap ass little beads that they're throwing out at the parades. You want the expensive beads that somebody paid $50 for. They're called the 72-inch beads, and they're the ones that go all the way to the ground. And they're a big fat bead, right? So that's what's coveted during Mardi Gras. So you barter with people for those beads. So there would be somebody standing on that balcony, and I've been here, I've done this. There'll be somebody standing on that balcony, and they'll be dangling their beads over the balcony at you, hey, and you go, okay, what do you want for those beads? And they're like, well, what are you willing to show for those beads, right? So you're bartering if you're going to show top, bottom, all, whatever. So, and the goal is to do it fast enough to where a cop doesn't come and arrest you. And that's what goes on Bourbon all day long. And if you leave Bourbon with a stack of beads like this, well, then you bartered well, right? That's the name of the game. Most people don't realize that about Mardi Gras, but that's the way it is. And yeah, don't pee in the alleys in New Orleans. Get a bathroom pass or go buy a drink and use a bathroom, because you will go to jail if you pee in the alleys. And yeah, New Orleans does smell like a big what do you call it? A porta potty or something, because of the people that pee in the streets. It's so gross. Okay, I think we made it to Hollyweird. Now, this Hollyweird has came over from Beauty and the Boomer because we didn't have time for it. But I just thought it was so noteworthy. This conspiracy is so noteworthy that we have to talk about it. So is Jim Carrey playing Joe Biden some of the time, all the time, part of the time? I don't know. Let's talk about it.
Does Jim Carrey play Joe Biden part of the time? And I'm not talking Saturday Night Live, I'm talking real life. By the end of this video, I think if you don't think so right now, there might be a little part, at least a little part of you that just might agree with me. Let's start with this. We all know he is a physical comedian, but just watch this.
Options were limited. You won't be seeing much more physical humor in my show. I want to go way back now. This will be...
We didn't need that many examples, dude. We get it.
You don't scare me anymore.
Okay, so you get the idea. He falls a lot. He falls a lot for comedy. But did you ever notice who else falls a lot? And hey, they kind of look alike. Like, in fact, that might even look a little bit more like Jim Carrey than Jim Carrey looks like Jim Carrey in this. If that's Joe Biden, I'll show you. It sure looks like a lot like Jim Carrey to me, and that's supposed to be Biden getting off the helicopter. They even have similar walks and forward head postures. Do you see it? I see it. Similar length arms in comparison to their knees. And we know how Hollywood likes to put things in plain sight. We also know they do a ton of predictive programming.
Okay, I'm not doing 4 minutes of that, but you get the conspiracy, right? They're saying that Jim Carrey has been tapped to play Joe Biden a majority of the time. Could it be real? I don't know. Or is it Hollywood? I don't know, but I know he had a big birthday party last week and everybody showed up for it, right? For a guy who's separated himself apparently from Hollywood, right? That was the big, remember he exposed the Illuminati and he's become self-aware. He's left Hollywood. Now he seems still to be pretty Hollywood to me. I don't know. I don't know about that. Let's see. Salty's Digital Dive says, I've been to New Orleans during the Hollywood or Halloween pre-Katrina. Yeah, my kids were down there for Katrina. Yeah, Halloween's always fun in New Orleans, definitely. Madonna gets sued because she showed up late for her own concert. They had to get up early to go to work the next day. So concert goers sue Madonna's Live Nation over concert starting late. That's right, bitch. Don't waste our time. What do you think? Have you seen some of the clips of this tour? It is sad. It is really, really sad. Madonna will not, embrace her real age. She still thinks she's 25 years old, writhing around on the goddamn stage, and it just looks sad. It looks pathetic. If anything, it's just funny. Funny to see she got sued, though. Don't be late, man. Don't be late. We'll sue your ass. Gwyneth Paltrow's getting owned. Gwyneth Paltrow told The Guardian that Gwyneth Paltrow broke down and ate bread during quarantine. What was your lowest point? And somebody tweeted back to her, I lost my job and my mother died. Yeah, that kind of puts it into perspective, Gwyneth. I'm sorry, your eating bread wasn't the hardest thing humans have ever done. And the Pentagon denies Taylor Swift is a secret psyop used to sway public opinion. Conspiracy theories are running wild. What do you guys think? You think she's a psyop? I do. I gotta tell you, I think she is. You can't be as big as she is right now without you being a psyop. Natural born killer. That's right, Alec Baldwin. He's been indicted again for a homicide. And you're not making music any better. You're making football much worse. You tell her, Hank. You tell her. Yeah, that's the end of Hollyweird. Let's see. We made it to Meme Alley. Let's get through these memes. We're almost through this show. And Jesus closing the deal with Bill W. and Dr. Bob to be the exclusive source of the recovery from alcoholism. Some people might not find this funny. I find it funny. If you've ever been through the 12 steps community or, have gone through any kind of recovery, yeah, Jesus has pretty much exclusively got the stranglehold on the 12-step programs. Good for him, though. More power to him. I don't remember what I wanted to be when I grew up, but I'm sure it wasn't an anxiety-ridden, people-hating, sarcastic bitch with a meme problem. Oh, nailed it. That's exactly what I am. I don't think I hate people, though. I'm disgusted by them, but I don't hate them, I don't think. Cornell, what are you so shocked about? When my doctor asked about my past drug and alcohol experiences, the never-ending story. Oh my gosh, yeah, that's funny. That's funny. Don't be so shocked, Cornell. We all have pasts. And if McDonald's is hiring at $22 per hour to flip burgers, then a CNA deserves $42 per hour to flip your grandma. That is so true. Poor CNAs. They do all of the work when it comes to geriatric care and they get none of the fucking pay, man. They do it all. So shout out to all my CNAs out there wiping asses and feeding people this morning. I have worked in CNA work many times over the years because I am in a retirement community and sometimes that's the only job you can find. And you know what? It's hard, backbreaking, heartbreaking work because you get attached to these people. You love them. You're not allowed to. And they're very close to passing, a lot of them. And you see how terribly they're treated, especially in these homes. America has a serious fucking problem. We don't take care of our seniors, our elders. You saw Keaton asking Nikki Haley this week about the retirement age needs to be raised from 65 to what, 90? I mean, fuck, never retire. That's where we're at now, and that's where we're gonna stay. In Tokyo, for instance, they have the high speed rail, right? Do you know they have a crew of older women who, when that train pulls in, they go in there, they disinfect, they clean it. They're very loved. They're very well respected. It gives them purpose. And their trains are spotless. Why can't we do shit like that in America? Because we don't care. We don't care about that. Once you're over 30, you're not worth a shit to anybody, right? That is the mentality in America, especially with Gen Z. My husband, when he folds the laundry and says no one comes to the party he threw to honor himself. Yes, guys, it's not you don't get to throw a party when you help us out. You'll live here too. And what is this one? I don't know about you, but I already got 5 trips planned in 2024 with no money. Universe, I trust you. Universe, I do trust you. Get me to Belize. Get me to the Bahamas. If you've ever masturbated to my picture, you owe me a fucking Valentine's gift. You know who you are. And the classic flavors are back: wild clayberry, tropical drywall, chalk lovers, plaster surprise, and attic citrus. Oh, and Tom's. There you are. Yes. Valentine's is coming up. Make sure you get your wild cherry clayberry. Gross. We used to love those things as kids, though, right? We did. Valentine's Day was a big deal when we were kids, definitely. Seeking a one night stand, possibly 2, because I have 2 lamps. I thought that one was hilarious. Me moving my foot under my blanket, my cat. Finally, a worthy opponent. Our battle will be legendary. Kate, you caught the joke. Oh, good. You got it. Somebody out there got it. Yes, my cat always battles my feet. Like my both of my cats like to sleep on my feet. Man, I'm trying to roll over, they'll attack. Like they get pissed too. Let's see. Gen X, what is this? Gen Y, that really sucks. Gen Z, ugh. Gen X, fuck. Gen Y, wow, that's really shitty. Gen Z, yikes. Gen X, fuck. I think you get the point. Yeah, Gen X, the only thing we have to say about anything is fuck. And shampoo versus conditioner. This is a reality. It is a sad reality I live with every day. I have to buy 2 bottles of conditioner to 1 bottle of shampoo. I don't know about you. I wish that they would do something about that. Please do something about that. Okay, guys, we're almost out of here, but let's talk Assange for a few minutes because there's a lot going on. So first they came for Assange. I have no problem calling Israel a Nazi state committing acts of genocide, knowing full well what my Jewish family endured. Aaron Mate. Yes, Aaron Mate has said that, and I agree with him. If Assange wasn't a fucking journalist, then why did they give him all these awards? Time Magazine, they're too small. I can't really see what they are, but every single one of these is from 2010, 2011. Remember when the Dems just loved Julian Assange because he was calling out Bush and Bush's war? Yeah, they didn't like him so much when he turned the tables on them and started telling the truth about what the fuck they're up to, right? And that's how we got to where we're at. So it's now or never. Day X is coming up February 20th. I know you guys know it. I know you guys know. You got to get on the phone. We got to call the switchboards. Let's call the Progressive Caucuses. You guys can find their phone numbers over on my X feed. House Res 934. We support it. Stop U.S. extradition of Julian Assange. It is now or never. And Comrade Misty put this out yesterday, Monday, February 19th from 3 p.m. to 6 p.m. I need y'all on X. I know you don't like X, but if you've got an X account, we're going to need you guys over there on February 19th. That is Eastern time. So that will be like 11 o'clock, something like that on the West Coast. We've got to have a Twitter storm. We have to make Assange trend for all of those days coming up to February 20th. So in cooperation and collaboration with our pals in London, please join us on Monday, February 19th, a day before the court date, from 3 p.m. to 6 p.m. Eastern to help us make some noise and raise awareness about Assange's case. So I know I can count on all of you guys. You guys are great supporters of Assange, and thank you for keeping him trending. That's what it's about. The longest filibuster in U.S. history was 75 days. It took place in 1964 when the Democrats tried to block the Civil Rights Act. It's been a shame if you don't share this. Oh, yes, those Democrats, right? They try to pretend they're on the right side every time, but they're not. Okay, I think we made it through this show. Beauty and the Boomer on Saturday. This is the first time I'm seeing the card. Great card, Oz. Why is Pasta in the background? And what happened to his hair? Pasta, you're getting old. I do like that hairstyle, though. Very 70s. Very 70s. I haven't heard what song he chose yet either, so I will find out. Hey, Natalie, what's up? Free Assange now. Absolutely. Let's shout out the chats before we get out of here. Hey, Tom, welcome to the chat. Good to see you. Let's see, Teresa, good to see you. I gotta find that mouse. Who's over on the Rokfin? Rokfin. Tom. I see Tom's hanging out over there. Denver, good to see you. Denver out of way. Gregory Walker's hanging out over there. Fred Edwards is hanging out. TK, good to see you. Is it TK? You guys, I left my glasses in the other room. Darn it. Gregory Walker. Yeah, I got Gregory Walker. Lynn, thank you so much for your support of the Rokfin Roar. Where are we over there? We hit 15,000 yet. We should be pretty close to 15,000 on the Rokfin. You know, we've only been holding out for years to get there. But see, if we were allowed to grow like we're allowed to grow on Rokfin, we would have, but they just don't allow us to grow on any channel, anywhere. Not at all. Okay, Rumble, good to see you. Mr. Worthless Eater is hanging out over there, along with Birdhouse Blues, Vahalex, and Law 66. Good to see you. And Ghost Start's over there. And let me get the YouTubes. We got Natalie Williams over there. Natalie, I'm so excited to come meet up with you for Jimmy Dore. I'm starting to work it out. I did reserve a hotel. I haven't paid for it yet, but I'm thinking because Amber's got to work, I'll probably just stay downtown and catch the ferry in the morning. Salty's Digital Dive, thank you for joining me this morning. Oh, Kate, you're funny. I saw you call out Popeye. Yeah, I need some damn Valentine gifts, guys. Midnight Karma, good to see you. Steve Guy, good to see you. Dirty Dollars, hi. Who else have it? Vic. Hi, Vic. What's up, Vic? Let me see. Wesley's hanging out too. Chris Foster. Chris. It's kind of late in the day over there, right? On the other side of the pond. Seeing if there's any new names I didn't get shouted out. I think I've shouted everybody out that was chatting today. If I missed you, I apologize. Come back. I'll get you next time. And I didn't have the chat brought up to give you guys wrenches, but I will go in on Wednesday and make sure everybody gets a wrench at Trailer Park because, hey, we're all about democracy. Everybody gets a fucking wrench, right? And I can't wait to see selfies with Natalie and Chanda. Yes, that's going to be so much fun. I'm going to have so much. I'm going to take my good cameras. We're going to get lots of, I'm hoping that I can, maybe get Steph, even just talking to people, like, even if I don't get video on the ground, a lot of times they go, hey, hit me up and I'll come on your show. So if I can get Steph to stop by the trailer park, that would be great. I've never reached out to her. I'm sure she would do it though. She's kind that way, right? Okay, we are out of here. I've got a great closer for you. This is Spill the Wine. You guys remember that song? Eric Burdon and War. Spill the wine. I don't even know where I came up with it. Okay, I am gonna get out of here, but you guys know I will be back Wednesday morning, and you guys. I'm gonna have some evening shows. I don't know which days because I'm waiting for everybody to get back a hold of me. But we got Jesse Jet. Go check out Jesse Jet's new album. Amazing Songs from the Black Side, I think it's what it's called. Amazing album. And then of course we're gonna have Jamie Deluxe stopping by in the next week or two too. And we love Jamie's work. So make sure you're looking for me in the evenings. I'm thinking probably a Wednesday or a Thursday night will probably be when it'll be. So yeah, look for me in the evenings. It'll probably be more like 10 o'clock West or East Coast time, 7 o'clock is what I'm thinking. So yeah, you get some special shows out of me this week. And we got all kinds of stuff planned. Oz and I are working on a few cool skit things. So those will be coming out too. Okay, I'm out of here. You guys have a great rest of your day, and be sure to join the Discord so you guys can drop stuff into the chat for me. Here, let me get you the link one more time. If you got stuff that you think will be funny on the show, you got memes, you got stories, drop them in the Discord. The Discord's growing, I can tell you. Okay, I'm out of here. I will see you guys Wednesday. Have a great rest of the day, and remember, you're always welcome at the trailer park.
I was once out strolling one very hot summer's day, and I thought I'd lay myself down to rest in a big I lay there in the sun and felt it caressing my face. And I fell asleep and dreamed. I dreamed I was in a Hollywood movie, yes I did. And I was the star of that movie. This really blew my mind, the fact that me, a thin-haired, middle-aged, leaping gnome, would be the star of a Hollywood movie. But there I was taken to a place, the Hall of the Mountain Kings, high above the mountain top, naked to the world, in front of every kind of girl. There was tall ones, small ones, dark ones, brown ones, black ones, round ones, big ones, freaky black ones. Out of the middle came a lady.
Je ne sais pas où je suis canadien, ouais.
She whispered in my ear
Je ne parlais pas espagnol.
something crazy.
Je disais à mon conseil.
She said, spill the wine, take that girl. 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 And I could feel hot flames of fire rolling at my back as she disappeared. But soon she returned. In hand was a bottle of wine. In the other hand, a glass. Now, she poured some of that wine from the bottle into the glass. And she raised it to her lips. Just before she drank, she said, take that wine, take that girl. Spill the wine, take that girl. Spill the wine, take that girl. Spill the wine, take that girl, take that girl. Yeah. It's on, it's on. Let me feel that wine. Spill that wine. Let me feel it. Yeah. Oh, spill the wine, 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 spill the wine. Take that girl.